Hello and welcome everybody to Paddling Pool 344. I am Way slash Range Blaster and I am joined today by T over here. Hello T, how are you?
I'm chilling, Ray. What's up with you? I'm like, I'm excited to just get into these games right now, honestly.
Yeah, I'm slightly tired. I had a long uni day, but I am also very happy to be here. This is very chill. I am very excited to watch these games. I've never commentated paddling pool before, so I'm double excited to be here today. And we are seeing on screen immediately the two teams that we're going to be seeing for set one, which is Paris Glufus. I hope I don't think I pronounced that third
I,
word
I don't know if there's a
correctly.
right way to say it.
I don't know. Uh, Only the team knows, I say. And Distinct on the other side, too. I think Distinct is relatively well known currently in the scene. I have seen Paris a couple of times as well. Both very good teams, relatively even as well, I think, from what I've seen. So yeah, very exciting games, hopefully, that we're going to see.
I personally don't have too much knowledge of individual teams, but last time I commentated a paddling pool, I got to watch a couple of Paris Saint-Glufus' sets, and they're quite impressive. I really want to see how they fight up against Distinct right now. Coming in with this L3 comp, it's very interesting. And on the other side, we have a big swing roller as well. The, this is such a beautiful first set coming in here onto this Scorch Gorge Rainmaker. See how they pop right now.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, very interesting comps on both sides. Two weapons that you don't see a lot, but that have good trades going for them. We see the Inkjet immediately coming out. Oh, the Splashdown trying to get it out. Does get the pick here, and three people of Paris do go down here, and Distinct are making their move into the opponent base, and they're looking to get that first checkpoint right off the bat. Ooh, a lot of
They
bombs
had a
going on.
very fiery start there. That big swig roller actually got two right there in the corner, and that really set them up to get this initial push. And they're just keeping it going with an Inkjet war happening right now. These two are fighting each other. See if anyone is able to get their correct way. Looks like the one that will go down is going to be the tri-stringer, and you know this push kind of fell flat a bit, but we still see a lot of control here on the side of Distinct. See if they can get something else going with the crab tank up now.
Exactly, but the crab does trap two, gets two immediately as well. The S-Blast trying to find maybe a finishing pick before they go down. Unfortunately, does not do so, and the Inkjet trying to suppress Distinct further and force them to back up a bit. And they do hold back a lot, and Paris do get keep the control at least, although they did end up going down a couple, and they are trying to make their moves into mid. The S plus and the Stamper trying to get picks, do trade, and well, Parisien are already at a disadvantage once again.
And this game is one thing I really love about both of these teams right now. They're just willing to be so patient in this opening game. We've seen Paris Saint-Glufus, they've been on the back foot for a good amount of it. But because they've been so patient, waiting for their perfect opportunity, they have an amazing setup right here to get first check. But that final arrow just gets to the very last hitbox and, you know, Push is dead, possibly, but they're still making very strong progress. They still have a lot of paint control right now, and we're just going to have to see if they can get something going right here. This Inkjet finding a very beautiful snipe.
Yeah, that shot on the stringer was very good and very much needed to keep the control here. Unfortunately, they are forced to back into mid, the L3 being the only one in the front lines. But they do get a pick down here on the roller, and maybe they can get back in again. The Rainmaker unfortunately does reset, but the Pensa is already on it, trying to get the Rainmaker, and the rest are holding the front lines really well right now.
As we see, they're getting like everything. They have almost all of their players pushed ahead of the checkpoint, and you can see that they tap it in right here, just 1 point behind. And are they going to be able to generate that into a lead right now? I feel like they have the manpower, they have the players up, and they do get the points on the board. Just a couple points, about a 15, 13, can I count right? Something point differential. But they have that lead there secured, and they're looking to, you know, honestly just play it back. They only have a minute 30. Still a good amount of time, but the way this map is played, it can be very slow. They kind of just have to play the clock right now.
We see the L3 actually getting the Rainmaker here, but the Bucket being a little bit too aggressive here, dying to the Nautilus, and the Nautilus trying to hold the base here and protecting the Rainmaker as it does so. And they do need to go back in the next minute or so. Maybe they do get a last push going here. They will have to, but the one member, the Stamper, does go down, unfortunately. And the Inkjet coming out again here and trying to find a pick, gets one. Well, gets an assist. That's good enough. That's what Inkjet does a lot of the time. It just helps your teammates to get the picks that you need. And yeah, well, one team is trying to keep the aggression up, and the other one is just trying to defend right here. And,
Ooh. That is a massive play from the big swig roller, and you can see that set up into possibly a massive push on the side of Distinct, coming back for this lead right now. You can really see Pari on the back foot right now. The tri-strikes go down almost immediately. 2 down on the side of Pari. Oh, 10 seconds left on the clock. This is coming down to the wire. 2-point differential right here as the final jumps are coming in. Can they get that pop at the very last second? No.
That was so upsetting. The Inkjet actually getting the pick on the Rainmaker. It was a very close game, and Distinct almost had it, but after all, Paris does take this game here. But I do hope to see a one-on-one now to see more of the set, because they are very close, as we've seen this game.
You can tell these two have a lot of respect for each other, just how close this game was in the end, and even at the very beginning, just how much they were willing to wait out to find any opening possible and just wait on it if they could. At this point, you see here, they had so many resources and they just could not get past that one checkpoint. It's difficult. This map is hard, and we're gonna see how both these teams are going to fare on this new map, going to be Robo Ramen Splat Zones. So what do you think? Who do you think is gonna favor coming out into this one, Rain?
Well, I do know, I'm assuming that Paris knows that as well. Maybe that's the reason why they've been holding back a little bit, is that the Stringer on Distinct is genuinely a good player. I've played against them as well, and they are very annoying, and their shot, I don't even know I don't even think they played shot this match, are very aggressive players, and they can hit their shots, so it can be very difficult, especially in a chokehold, as you said, on Rainmaker, to get past that Stringer. But yeah, we're gonna see Splat Zones, and I think I haven't ever played against Paris, but they have, I think, I wanted to say they have the better comp, but then I remembered they have the Distinct have the big swig that can paint a lot. So I am going to say maybe Distinct has the favor here. We see a small flank from the Bucket on the side from Paris, trying to maybe, they get a pick on the Nautilus here, and maybe that is their immediate push in with the zone control going to Paris immediately, and yeah, they are trying to get a hold of that choke here. The L3 falling, maybe on accident. I don't know.
That very fast play from Paris, you can see that they understand what this map, how they really need to play this map. But on the other side, we can see that Distinct is really pushing back with their own tools right now. They have a lot of, like you said, they have a lot of paint from that big swig. They do also have very strong tools to just pressure choke point as well. With that tri-string, it's going to be able to rain down bullets constantly onto the map. It's really difficult to walk into Stamper, really difficult to walk into Nautilus. And you know, they pushed a bit too far ahead, and now you can see that Paris is going to get back into mid and just keep the game even. Keep it even, as always. That's the whole definition of this set. It's even. These two teams are really fighting to see who's like the better one of these two right now. And it's coming close.
Oh, the S-Bus got... Oh, they got marked. Unfortunately, they trade one of Distinct, but the Stamper cleans up after them. Gets a double at least. Maybe, I think the Pencil got the third kill, and that was a wipeout, and Distinct has immediately moved up into the spine of Paris here. The splashdown is really dangerous. The Inkjet getting two though, but it is not enough to get them back in since they have lost a couple of their members as well, and the Stamper is making good work of just protecting that spine over there.
I was about to say, each of these teams are trading so hard, but the one that seems to be finding these trades positive on for the most part is Paris, and right now they're kind of falling back on it a bit. You know, if the Pencil goes down, that's going to be a very dangerous position. None of these weapons can really sustain it that well, but the Inkjet is hopefully going to help something of it. If they can find a kill, they can find two, and possibly take back this zone for themselves right now, as we see this L3, very unconventional L3, but I love it. It's coming back out, and it's been a bit of the star of the show, just painting the map, getting these splats. I think that this is kind of the weapon that's like really keeping the comp together, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it's generally interesting that we're seeing a lot of Inkjet on action from both sides. Distinct have an Inkjet as well. You don't see that a lot, especially not at this level, that both teams are running an Inkjet and using it as their main approach option into the enemy team. But we do see Paris taking back the zone here and trying to hold that zone to get the lead. The Booyah coming out as well, trying to force out the Stringer, but the Crab coming out forces Paris to back up fully, basically, except for the S-Bus that gets a pick on the right side here.
And this game is just so close. They keep rotating who's in and out of zone. It's almost hard to keep track of, as two go down straight on the zone, and that's going to be another advantage spot right here. Can they push up into that spine? Can they find anything? As we see the S-Blast comes in, gets one on the Nautilus. Can they continue this streak? No, they're going to fall back in the mid. And we're going to see, can they just find some footing to keep this advantage? As we see the final ticks coming onto the board, S-Blast goes down, and that's a lead swap as everything comes out onto the zone. The Crab, the Super Chumps, well, it's a lead. Not a massive lead, but can they fight it back?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it is really not that big of a lead. It's only 10 seconds on the penalty points left. The Inkjet trying to get control. The Roller actually gets the Inkjet, and that might be the lead switch here for Distinct. It is also not a big lead, though, only a 2-point lead, and Paris is all the way back in and trying to get the spine here, trying to fight that lead back. Oh! People of Paris go down!
Very important shark by the Stamper. That might just swings the whole game, actually. The Pencil goes down, and they're just fighting to get that final player has to jump out, but that they've given up full positioning with the lead. 10 seconds left on the clock. Distinct might be in it. They have so many resources up now. They have the zone in their favor. They only have to deal with the Pencil, and we can see that second game, very, very close as well, goes in the favor of Distinct. Oh my goodness.
It feels like we're rolling a dice on who's winning these games. It's very close, especially the last minute. It was a lot of back and forth and trying to get back the lead and everything. I mean, Paris almost had it. They did get the lead for a short time, but they lost it almost immediately to Distinct again. And can we talk about the splashdown that happened at the end that got two of Paris, because I think they were not paying attention to the splashdown because they were panicking a little bit. Because I mean, that's just what happens when it's the last couple of seconds of a match and you don't have the lead in the game. Most people tend to panic. So that is, I think, just a normal consequence of being a human being.
Yeah, this Big Swig has been a very important team member right here. Just, you expected to be sitting back almost all the time, just painting. No, they're going to be up in your face, getting that splashdown. You could have seen them fighting that inkjet, very precarious situation. But, it's almost difficult thinking like, this weapon can actually kind of do stuff sometimes. I'm so used to thinking of it as like, oh, it's just a meme weapon. It can't really do anything. It just has all these bad kits, all these bad traits. No, it has so much purpose. Like, if you get the right team comp going with it, I feel like they've just found the place where the big swig works the greatest, and they're just running through all of its advantages, really.
Yeah, I think, I mean, as you said, team comps are very important, and you can make basically every weapon, like work. And I think generally, I think the big swig works a lot with the tri-stringer in particular, because it gives a lot of chip damage, right? They can work off of each other, and I mean, the big swig roller has a lot of range, so it can definitely work off of that and provide chip damage or get the chip damage from its teammates.
And coming into this final game on Inkbot Art Academy Tower Control, I have no bets on who's going to win this one. This is one of the most neutral maps in the game. Neither of these teams swapped for that game 2. Are we going to see anything major from game 3? I feel not, but I'm surprised. I'll be surprised either way.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a couple of weapons, especially the booyahs, the strikes, and the splashdown that can easily cheese the tower. So I'm expecting to see a little bit of tower cheese, but we do see immediately a flank from Distinct on the right side. I think it's the roller, or it's the S-Blast. It's the S-Blast on the left side here, trying to push 2 people actually, and the rest of Distinct get the other 2 down, and Rafa over there gets the 3rd guy down. It's only the pencil left, and Distinct can immediately move back.
Trying to look for the full sweep, didn't get it quite there, but honestly, they've gotten it past this first check on this map. That's oh so important. You can already see them getting that big splashdown up, getting the slosher, and pincering another member. Can they really push this advantage here? Inkjet coming out, immediately taken down by the S-Blast, and they're really pushing forward. Oh my word. This has already been a fiery start, and just not even a full minute into the game. Another Inkjet coming out from the other side, pushing through mid. Pari-san Glufus, they're really trying to get this first check out of the way, getting the slosher, and the slosher getting the roller, and pushing past this first checkpoint. Can they find the position to even out the game already?
Yeah, the S-Blast here, though, trying to fight the tower, does get one of the members off the tower, and the pencil isn't. Oh, dire need of help does go down here, and the L3 gets picked as well from a double team here from... Oh, the bucket gets a double! But unfortunately does go down, and Distinct have control over the tower once again, trying to push it a little bit further than just 68.
And this is the real meat and bones of this map. You see Distinct has mid, that's great for them. Pari-san Glufus, they have their spawn, that's great for them. Well, they want to keep pushing it, and you can see the S-Blast, they get taken down just trying to poke a bit. And the huge triple splashdown doesn't actually get one, but it comes very close. They're just feeling each other out so hard on this map. That's what you have to do. But whenever there's a swing, it feels massive. It feels like there's 3-4 players going down, and it's just utter chaos. You can see on the side of Paris, they're going down right now. The pencil's just staying on top, staying in their spawn, but they need to make a push here. They need to make something happen. Otherwise, we're halfway into the game. They need to find a way to get back into mid, push into the other team's base, and it's a bit lacking right now, I can't lie.
I mean, yeah, it does feel like, you just saw how up front the tri-stringer was. I think Paris is just not seeing an opportunity to move back in. As I say that, 2 people of Distinct go down, and that might be the opportunity that Paris was looking for here, trying to get the left side of the map here. But I mean, the Nautilus immediately saw the L3 here, probably immediately called it out as well, and the rest of Distinct are moving into the left side here, trying to help that out as well. There's again a big swig versus Inkjet fight, and the Big Swig comes out on top here, gets the Inkjet down, and Distinct are pushing again.
Yeah, it feels like every act that Paris, they want to get ahead, but Distinct is just there to find a trade, to find some type of mileage, stop the push from happening again. And they've been really successful so far, except at this point they're trying to find something. The Nautilus is the last player up. Can they defend successfully as they take down 2 players, get themselves back on the tower? And Distinct just looks like it just looks like they know the game plan for this map. They just know how to keep the tower on their side. Granted, if Paris is able to find one push, then they take the set altogether. But it's looking like Distinct really knows what they're doing at this point, and Paris needs to find a way to get around it.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely know how to keep that tower under their control, but unfortunately they haven't been able to push very far, which also means, as you just said, if Paris gets one good push in, it's over for Distinct, right? They don't have that safe of a lead right now, and it is looking like it's being more even in the middle right now with the Booyah coming out here, forcing out the roller here, and the Inkjet trying to get. Oh yeah, that might be the push that Paris is looking for, but there is a flank from the right side, and Rafa does get one down and gets a little bit of attention into the right side here. They're just running in, and they unfortunately do go down here.
And the tower got 1 point there. The only point that's been scored by Paris in a couple minutes, but that is going to be the last of it, as Distinct is able to surround the tower, just make sure that nothing is able to get in their way. That was, all things considered, that was a very, very close game, a very, very close set. Congratulations to Distinct. There was another world where Paris was able to find that advantage and just push it all the way to the bank. But yeah, congratulations to Distinct.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it was 3 very close matches, and I mean, Paris almost had it at the end here. They had the start of a push going. Unfortunately, they lost it very quickly, and Distinct was able to hold on to their very unsafe lead, I'll say. But nonetheless, they won. They take the set, and they continue in winner's bracket, and Paris goes into the loser's bracket for now. Let's see how they hold there. You can watch the bracket. Maybe we'll see Distinct later if they do really well today.
These 2 teams are seated pretty highly, so I do want to see them play a game. That was an upset by seeding. Paris was seeded to win that. So I do hope we see them again. 2 very strong teams. Definitely see them both making it very far in this bracket. But that was just beautiful Splatoon all around, honestly. Just seeing some unconventional weapons come out from both sides, seeing them find their own means of success. You really gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the type of set that I like. When I watch it, I want to play the game, right? Like, I haven't been as active in the comm scene myself, but like, whenever I cast these types of set, I'm just like, yeah, I kind of do still sometimes want to play the game. It is still, it can be as fun, as thrilling as this if you get it far, right? If you, maybe not if you're like lower level and you go into a paddling pool and you get destroyed first round, which I think we've all been through at some point.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah, it's just, it's, you gotta have to like experience that, but like the more fun these sets that actually are close will be once you know both sides. So yeah, that was the first set. I think we will probably take a small break here. I am side-eyeing. Okay, yeah, we will take a small break here, and we will see you in a couple of minutes once the next round can be casted. So we'll see you then.
BRB.
Hi everyone, we are back with our second round. We are in winners round 2 now, as I just said, and on screen you can see Duckcraft versus Blank Z, or no, I think they're just called Blanks. I think that's how you pronounce it. I always pronounce it wrong. One of these two, I think I'm just gonna call them Blanks for now. Um, these two are both seeded relatively highly. They've both won their last sets. And I mean, they're both really good teams. I think Duckcraft is a little bit probably the favorite here with I think plus ones. I think there are a couple plus ones in there with Punchy and Slasher. So yeah, T is still with me as before, commentating this set with me, and we are in a best of 5 now as well.
Best of 5 territory means that these sets are going to potentially take a lot longer. Gonna have a lot more counter picking, a lot more thought being put into, which weapons do we really want to bring in? What's our strategy going to into each of these maps? Starting off on this Scorch Gorge Clam Blitz, I'm really wondering. We saw Scorch Gorge in our last set, and this map has a pretty similar layout on a lot of modes. Just that big choke point determining everything. Want to see how these teams are gonna, handle this map, and we see edit on both sides as a very interesting start.
Okay, we do see a Tetra and a Brush comp here from Blanks. I think the Tetra is relatively well known from them. That might also just be the German in me talking, because they're a German team, so I know them relatively well. And we see an S-Blast Stamper Splash comp, a relatively regular comp from Duckcraft, and we see Duckcraft immediately getting the upper hand here in mid. The Brush trying to survive on the right side of the map here, trying to get a pick on acing here, doesn't get that, but I mean, they survive. That's already a good thing. They are being a distraction, as the Brush should be. And the shot getting a double here on the top mid, and that is a good start for Blank C here, trying to get more out of this push. Unfortunately, going down though.
And these are two edit comps, but you look a bit further into both of them. They're really different styles of play. You see with that Tetra and that Octobrush, you can see that Duckcraft is really playing for that dive. Not Duckcraft, Blanks is playing to dive, really, to just get their front lines in and wreak havoc. Where they have the Trizuka in the back, and on the other side you have that Splatana Stamper, as we can see with the caster right now, looking to be that sort of destructive force, and they have the Crab Tank, the S-Blast to really hold them together. It's a very traditional comp versus something more unorthodox, and we can see it working. Well, each of their styles are working pretty well right now. Duckcraft, they have their clam, they're pushing for a while, but a lot of their players just went down, have to retreat into mid tier, and it's once again an even game, almost 2 minutes in. Barely any clams on either side right now, just feeling each other out in this somehow early game still. That's kind of what Scorch Gorge will do to you. Just playing a lot of feeling them out.
Yeah, it is still, I mean, on Rainmaker and both on Clam Blitz. They are... Oh, there is the first push going, but as I said, it is a very chokehold heavy map. A little bit less on Clam Blitz, but still you need to hold that area. And, I mean, Blanks is trying, unfortunately do go down to the Crab here. And the Brush being found... I think they got caught as well, sharking, and Punchy immediately getting a big clam ready for the next push. The shot sharking though, trying to find a pick, unfortunately in a very difficult situation, I'll say, and unfortunately do go down. But the Stamper goes down with them, and it is even once again. The Brush jumping the shot here and getting a pick and trying to hold that mid tower over here.
This Octobrush is already just getting into the most annoying places possible for Duckcraft, trying to just weasel in any trades, any sort of splats they can get. And you can see that with the whole team, actually, with that splatter shot, just finding their way into the back of their spawn. And, even though it's kind of even, I see a lot of favor for Blanks, even positioning-wise. Points-wise, Blanks still has this favored. They still have a lot of players up on the field right now, and that if you're Duckraft, you always need to be scared because something like that is going to happen. They're finding ways behind you. That Octo Rush, the Tetra, they're just sneaking all the way around, and that, even though that was off of a sort of cheeky play, that still netted them 40 points. Or was that 40? It went from 61 to 40, but it still netted them a lot of points. And Duckraft is really on the back foot of this game now.
I mean, that's just what happens when you don't pay attention to a Tetra and a brush comp. It, as you said, both very, you know, maybe not the most, you know, kill weapons, but like more the I'm gonna run behind you and be a menace to society. And they're doing that really well. The Stamper trying to get something going with their Zipcast, trying to get the Tetra out. He does get the pick, and maybe Duckraft will finally... maybe Duckraft will not get a push going yet. The Splash being a little bit too optimistic on their side over there, and the Tetra being, you know, very distracting again. And Duckraft have yet to still get a push going here.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's that sort of thing. The best defense is the best offense is the greatest defense. I don't know where I was going with that, but with 10 seconds left on the board, you can see that Duckraft is really trying to find something right now. They have a clam, they have players down, and that's the most important thing. Can they find something fast? Edit peeks right around the corner, safeguarding one of the power clams right now. Slash is running up to the basket, scores it. Well, we have some time on the clock. There are players up, and there is indeed a second power clam in play. And the jump has been set in, and the lead has been taken. Very last minute wipeout, last minute everything.
What? that was so weird, because Blanks were able to hold for the entire match, and then one guy gets in and they get the lead. That was an insane take back push, but I mean, it gave Duckraft the win. This is just another confirmation that it is never truly over unless it is over, right? They were losing the entire match the entire time, and they still end up coming out on top somehow.
At the 30-second mark, if you ask me who's winning this game, all of my money is on Blanks. I'm going home broke. I'm telling you that right now.
We should not be gambling. That's insane.
Clam Blitz is just that mode. Sometimes you find your opening, you have the clams on deck, you know, you get everything that you need, and it's just that easy.
I mean, yeah, that's just what happens, especially in a mode such as Clam Blitz or on Rainmaker as well. Tower and Zone's not as much, because they, you know, they're slower modes, right? You have to drag them out. But Rainmaker, you can just run forward, and Clam Blitz, if you have 4 clam bolts, you can just throw them all in at the same time if you want. But speaking of tower control, we are moving on to tower control on Hacklefish Market here for the next game, and I think both teams might have like good advantages. The Brush is relatively good on tower, so is the S-Blast and the Stamper though, so you know, I don't know what to expect. The last match completely exceeded my expectations, so I think I'm just gonna go in without any for this one.
I mean, if I were to go off of the last game, Blanks, they were very, very strong in securing their space, and so I'd imagine that tower is gonna work well for them. But they do also have a lot of weapons that are going to be like going out there and just dying a lot. That Tetra, that Octo Rush. Well, we're not gonna see the Tetra. I'm gonna see something else that's pretty wacky there.
Wow. Okay, we see a Hydra, and we see I think it's the Tetra that switched onto Zap here, to take over the cooler spot, which is very interesting. You don't often see Tetra players also playing cooler, but we see it here, and well, currently it's looking for Duckcraft. It's been 30 seconds, so we can't say a lot, but they are moving into the first checkpoint over here and defending it relatively well. The brush going down on the side of Blanks, and the first checkpoint being broken basically immediately, and Punchy trying to set up on the right side here with their crab. Oh, and they had to fall down.
Duckcraft trying to prove immediately, yeah, that wasn't a fluke. We deserved to win that game wholeheartedly. Getting a push up to 39 before a minute even passes, just dominant control of mid, dominant control of really this game's whole pacing so far. You see the Spider Shot try to run forward, the Stamper's got him. Someone's always covering something. This is just a well-oiled machine right here, you know? And you have to wonder, was this like massive comp change from Blanks really the answer that they needed coming into the second game off of what could have very well just been their favor 1-0 right now? They're finding themselves on a very difficult back foot for this entire, well, what's been of this entire game so far.
Yeah, it seems like the roles from last game have very much oh no, the splash might have died to the rain over there, which, you know, it happens. It's upsetting, but it happens. And the brush is trying to survive the bombs on the right side here from both the Stemper and the S-Blast. They do have to jump out here, and Blanks finally get control over the tower here. One going down on the left side, but I don't think they saw the other guy, and well, they did now, and unfortunately the brush goes down here. Two people go down on the side of Blanks. Oh, the splash unfortunately losing that fight, which, ouchies, that must have hurt.
You saw Punchy go out there on a bit of a solo mission trying to get that beacon. Unfortunately, happened to come in there right as someone jumped in. And, you know, as that all was happening, the lead almost comes back the other way. Truly coming back the other way. Blanks finds themselves in a bit of an advantage right now, just coming off of this massive push, all thanks to the Hydra. My bad for doubting it for a second, but they've really come back from getting demolished for the first minute, frankly, to, you know, doing a bit of demolishing themselves, really finding their way back into mid, finding their way back into this game. You can see the Octopus is really threatening their space again. Just, they found their footing once again. Can they really hold it for the next couple minutes in this game?
And two people of Blanks do go down here, and that does give Duckcraft the opportunity to move in, but the Stamper was unfortunately a little bit too aggressive in their spot, and goes down to a double teaming of two of Blanks members. And the bubble comes out, the Booyah is shredding it, but no one of Blanks has gone down yet, and the tower is moving back as again, and Asing is trying to hold a little bit of control on the right side here, and I mean he does manage to do that, and Duckcraft will continue their push here for a little bit. Oh, ouchie's bomb.
It's getting a bit chaotic right now. Duckcraft is trying to make this their game right now. Getting the Hydra, that's going to be their main weapon that's holding everything together. And the Zipcaster coming in to seal the deal, 3 down on the side of Blanks. It's looking like a lead swap's going to happen right here. And with this type of lead coming off of that second checkpoint, it's getting to very, very dangerous territory. This is not the checkpoint you want to be defending on this map, but it's the one that Blanks is going to need to be defending. They're able to force the heavy edit off of the tower, thankfully, get some space back for themselves. But with this type of a lead, it's very, very hard to find any sort of footing, but that Hydron tower is going to be threatening regardless. You know, if they're able to keep this Hydra player on the tower for the rest of the game, I feel it's going to be great. It's going to be great for them, curtains almost, but they need to push forward, find some space, just make sure that nobody can get that player off tower for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they do have the Zuka ready here, but the shot doesn't want to move in there. They lose the Zuka, and I mean, no, they don't lose the Zuka. They had Cooler, but because of them going down, they lost a lot of control over on the right side, and Duckcraft is able to hold the tower for the remaining game. You know, defending and making sure that Blanks doesn't do to them what they did. in the first match, I'll say.
Yeah, that another tight game. Honestly, that's if you're blanks, you've really got to be like gritting your teeth, like, oh, that was ours, and it was for a very very good amount of time, just like the last game. But now they find themselves down 2-0 in this set. They have the strategy clearly. They know what they need to be doing on these maps, but it's almost down to, can we really hold our ground for the entire game, not let it slip for 1 second, in order to really stop Duckraft from playing their game. Because honestly, if you're Duckraft, you're kind of just, your game a bit better at these moments, and that's what it's really coming down to.
we saw the rain death, unfortunately, there again. Foul that got clipped. But it happens to the best of us. Sometimes you just can't get out of the cloud, and here we see the lead switch that Blanks was able to get before having it being taken away again, and it is currently tiebreaker for Duckraft. One more win on Rainmaker. Mako, you don't see that a lot. You don't see Rainmaker Mako a lot, but we're gonna see it here.
I saw Mako, my eyes almost got tricked for a second. That's, I thought it was zones or something. No, that's Rainmaker. How does this map even work on Rainmaker?
It's really weird because it's the only mode where you spawn on the left side.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily that bad. And I mean, Paddling Pool has the, picnic, the picking maps for each mode. So, we can see basically, I mean, we're going to see Zones Wahoo. Maybe we're going to see Zones Wahoo if Blanks takes this game. Which,
hopefully
again...
I'm not a fan of Zones Wahoo. I don't think you're going to find a lot of Wahoo World fans anywhere near the Splatoon community.
One of my old teammates was a Zones Wahoo fan. So, I know at least one person that does. But we do see the Dualies and the Luna Blaster coming out from Acing on the side of Duckraft here. I mean, Acing was known a lot for being a Luna one-trick and pushing that weapon further, and he is taking that one out and trying to push it into a 3-0 here. And I mean, it's currently working. The Stamper goes down, unfortunately, as well, but Blanks are currently outnumbered by Duckraft, and they are trying to go for the left side here, the quicker, the more safe push. Unfortunately, the Dualies do make quick work of the Rainmaker carrier.
And, Blanks has kind of been... They've just been scrapping in a lot of these situations, and Duckraft has really been coming out on top. You see the Inkback coming out right now, This was Duckraft's map pick, so they probably know what they're doing here a lot better than what Blanks is going on here. Even though they're really struggling to get past the second checkpoint, really just pushing to see whatever they can find. But they're going to be in a bit of a stalemate right here, as you kind of have to make that awkward jump in order to make that checkpoint. Finally breaking here after a couple failed attempts, and it's looking a bit scary from this position, because it's difficult to run directly to the checkpoint from this position, but you can run and get a lot of points just from this. And we are seeing that, pushing it all the way down to 35 Duckraft with very little contention from Blanks right now. Still have a lot of people just hanging up on this ledge right here, Can they make something happen with this Inkback right now? Threatening to pop it again, possibly.
Yeah, I think Punchy has realized as well there's a guy behind them. And they do get the Rainmaker again and push it to 18. And I think Blanks isn't really sure what to do on this map here. I mean, it's not often seen, and it wasn't their pick. As you said, Duckraft know what they're getting into when they pick this map. And Slasher is trying to force the Rainmaker, maybe even kill the Rainmaker over in their spawn. Unfortunately, does go down to the brush. That's the name. My brain just failed me.
It happens sometimes. But yeah, as that Stamper went down, Blanks kind of got back into position, I want to say, but Duckraft is still in a pretty dominant spot right now, just coming back in the mid, fighting off everyone that was looking to really get the Rainmaker pushed up a bit. It became chaos very fast, I have to say. There's just a lot of people everywhere. You can see Acing on the side there, trying to find one with the Ultra Stamp. They do find one, and I don't even know where the Rainmaker is anymore. Just
Yeah, this map is really weird because the middle of the map is relatively open while the actual push options are very, very narrow. So very difficult to navigate, very good for AoE weapons. But yeah, it's very difficult to push because you don't see everything that could attack you. I mean, we saw that before when they were trying to push, and we see the 96 trying to do a bit of damage on the right side here, and Benji going down, unfortunately, having tried to shark on the left side in mid. And, well, Duckcraft is trying to get into their spawn immediately, but I don't think they necessarily want to push very far. I mean, they've got to push down to 18. They only need to defend for the next 18 seconds, or they go down to the heavy edit. That is also an option.
well, it looks like in trying to stall it out a bit, Duckcraft really lost their footing there. You can see Multi getting a very clean kill with that dually and pushing up to that first checkpoint. Gonna be the great spot for Blanks to really mark their turn in terms of this game. You know what? I thought they were gonna go down for a second. Well, they went down right there. My goodness, with that Luna Blaster, and you know that one push that Blanks was really looking to get, that one push that would have defined the game, goes down in a blink of an eye. And coming into these last 30 seconds, it's really going to be Blanks trying to find their way back to that Rainmaker, because I can't see the rain on the screen, but I'm sure it's not popped.
It is popped, and it is resetting right now, maybe giving Blanks back the option to actually get it, because they are right in mid over there. Unfortunately, the dualies go down on the right side here. Two members of Duckcraft go down as well, though, and Blanks will need to make do with what they have right now. The Luna going down again, and the vac might be an issue here, since or
the Zipcaster finds it, and the Rainmaker rotates to the other side.
Oh!
There are three players down on the side of Duckcraft.
They are surviving everything right. Oh! They survived everything up until the 96. God damn it.
That was just ludicrous. And you know, from that position, they very well could have just ran it past. There's not a lot of like things actually stopping you from just running it straight to the goal from that right side. So yeah, you could have thought there's a very different reality where Blanks won that first game, they won that second game, and they had that final run up on this last game, and they would have taken the whole set. But that is going to be a 3-0 in the favor of Duckcraft instead.
Yeah, I mean, the VAC was, I think, relatively helpful, but I mean, unfortunately, they did go against a Zipcaster from the brush, which you know, it does a lot of melee damage and can go through the VAC. So that is a very big counter towards that. But I am just shocked at how much that the Rainmaker holder from Blanks survived at the end. I mean, they survived the Luna, they survived like everything. Unfortunately, I think they saw like only one more person was alive on the side of Duckcraft, and was like, okay, we can like get the pedestal now, right? Get the checkpoint. And they tried to do that. We see a triple here from the Luna as well, by the way. That's just what Luna does. And unfortunately, the 96, the last guy alive, does secure the kill on the Rainmaker here. Everyone dies, and the 96 was able to clutch it. I think if the 96 would have died there, as you said, it might have gone a very different route here for Blanks and Duckcraft. But it didn't. So this is the set for Duckcraft. Congratulations to you at a 3-0. Not a like a close one. These were close matches, except for the last game, I will say.
And
but
even so, that could have gone a very different way.
That's true. Like both teams had very valid shots on winning these sets. I think we all saw that on winning this set. I think we all saw that. But you know, Duckcraft went and got the first game was already insane, and they kept the momentum going and got a 3-0 out of this. And they kicked Blanks down into losers bracket.
I'm really excited to see what both of these teams have to come up here. I feel like, you know, Duckrap was playing hot for like a lot of these games. Like, it's very important. There were a lot of times during this set where they were just down those first 2 games. They found a really, really strong out, and they just played to it, and they won their games. And that last game, it was a great showing of dominance for the first couple minutes. Blanks almost found their spot, but you know, Duckcraft very impressive, and I'm really excited to see what they have. But I think that's going to be it for right now. We're gonna hit a nice break for a second, so we will see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we are back here with paddling pool number 344. We're hitting up winner semis right now. Is that right? That is winner semis. Fletcher versus Oingo Boingo Brothers. Two teams that actually both made upsets in order to get here. So we're kind of seeing the underdogs duke it out right now. Very interesting turn of fate. I'm T, joined here by Rain. What is going on, Rain?
I mean, you know, we already had a little bit of a talk, like off screen, like off stream, about the names of the two teams. Oingo Boingo Brothers is a very interesting name, and I think also the two of the mates on that team are also called Oingo and Boingo. So that's probably where they got that name from, or maybe even the other way around. I'm not sure. They're called that in the lobby. Maybe aliases or not, I don't know. On the other side, we have Fleshta, and there, I think, a couple of high-level German players. Yep, that's like CC, Pirli, that's the guys from Cherry Wave, if any, you probably know them, and a couple of other people as well, and yeah, well, we're gonna go into Rainmaker on Museum any second now. A very common map mode, and well, let's see what these two teams have in store for us. We see a bamboo. I think we saw that on the waiting screen when we watched Noctis POV. We saw the bamboo as well, and we see a rapid pro pencil comp on the other side from the Oingo Boingo Brothers.
And one thing I saw, it's not just a bamboo, it's an opening gambit bamboo. So they're going to be looking for something very early right now, I feel. Well, they have about 10 seconds to get something, and you know, it looks like the Oingo Boingo Bros, they know what's up. They are not going to let that bamboo get anything right now, as they are pushing that Rain to the very first checkpoint, waving out the entire team, forcing the S-Blast to jump out, and this is a very early lead on a, frankly, very scary map. You know, you give an inch, they take a mile. That's kind of the whole thing that Museum does with it.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, unfortunately, the splash is on the bottom there. The carbon gets picked out immediately as well. The S-Blast finding two more, and the Rainmaker going down as well. That might be the comeback here for Fleshta. And the last one, the Rapid, does go down here as well. And Fleshta is quick in taking back mid here with a... Oh! But they did not account for the carbon getting a double here on the left side. Unfortunately, does go down, but that will slow down Fleshta. I keep mispronouncing their name, for a small while, and the bamboo is forced to jump back to their teammate here.
Yeah, personally, I'm just gonna call them Fletcher. I don't have that type of knowledge on me. But we can see Fletcher here. They're being pushed to the back foot a lot this game so far. You know, just really struggling to deal with this carbon right here. Really finding all these awkward angles, supported really well by their teammates. You know, the splash, the rapid, the pencil. They're not really aggressive weapons. They're not pushing in very front-facing positions. I say as the rapid. You know, finding something very far forward for what it's worth. But that, you know, they're very passive weapons on the team, and that Carbon kind of serves as an interesting dichotomy to that, being able to really find awkward openings that the rest of the team isn't really prepared to find to handle. And you know, Fletcher's they're finding their footing here right now, as the Carbon comes right behind them, trying to get something, doesn't find anything.
Unfortunately, we do see. I mean, we've been seeing both teams try and get pushes going, but immediately going down, or the Rainmaker carrier going down immediately upon picking it. So both teams haven't pushed very far, but we see Fleshter here getting the lead, a slight bit, just 6 points, but it is still enough to take the lead. And the Oingo Boingo brothers are back in the disadvantage here. Will need to move back in a little bit more and to try and retake that lead, but they're doing that currently with the crab ongoing and that's what I mean, the I wanted to say bamboo, the pencil, the bamboo here getting the pick on the Rainmaker here just in time, 1 point away from getting the lead, and they're gonna stall it on the right side. Sure, why not, you know?
Yeah, that. Oh well, no, they're
never mind,
moving
they
it.
moved.
Well, I think that's one of the most interesting developments with this map, seeing people, you know, unafraid to just put the Rainmaker in that position. And, you know, if you're Fletcher, that's a very bold place to put it right now with just a 1 point differential. They're figuring, you know, there's still time on the clock. We have lots of game to play. We might be able to get a point or two more before we decide, hey, let's just stall it for now. Unfortunately, not going to find anything on this push, and, you know, they might just pay for their hubris right here, as the whole team is going to go down. And you know, this is just great positioning for Oingo Boingo Bros. Getting that crab tank right up on the center spinner. Very, very tricky spot to deal with. And this might just be the push that gets them the lead. 5 points, that's good enough for now. There's a minute left in the game. You need to find out what your end game is if you're Fletcher, because it's not looking very pretty right now. This map is very difficult to get past that spinner on their flat.
Yeah, I mean, even then, though, it's still not a big lead. It's, again, just a measly 5 points, and Fleshter are very much on the way to taking back that lead. But the Carbon is immediately just cancelling that. They do go down in a trade, but, well, it will take them down in a bit, but they do take the lead. Just a couple of points do go down again, but it is only 10 seconds left, and the Oingo Boingo brothers are in a, well, predicament, I will say, because they will need to pick up the Rainmaker in the next couple of seconds, and they do, and they will need to survive and get it onto the enemy plat in, you know, 50 seconds or so. But the S+!
The solo mission does not work out, and we might be seeing an extended overtime here with these tri-strikes coming out. The end zap just running straight forward through the strikes. You know what? Give me cover, I'll run ahead. And that combined play from Fletcher nets them the very first game. You know, I feel like they had that, even as close as it was, that end game was very spectacularly played. Those final points to get that last push, they played very safe to maintain that lead at the end. You know, I feel like Fletcher has just been, they're kind of showing, like they got that upset over seed 1. They're taking that seed, understanding that they're probably, I think they're in it to win, I feel.
The thing is, what I've realized on both teams, I think the Oingo Boingo brothers did it a little bit better. But, I mean, both teams had spectacular defense, right? Neither team got very far. And the pushes were stopped basically immediately. But both teams had troubles moving in the first place, right? Especially, I think Fleshter had some issues in the start, and the Oingo Boingo brothers ended up having those issues at the end. But, you know, all in all, both teams had the same kind of problem, I will say. Let's see, maybe it is just a Rainmaker on museum thing, since it is a, as you said, relatively difficult map to push on sometimes, since it is, you know, with the spinner and everything, especially with the Carbon on the enemy team, can be a little bit difficult, because if you don't know where the Carbon is, you can't move, basically. But we are gonna move right into the next game, though, on Clan Blitz map that I forgot the name of, unfortunately.
Barnacle and Dime.
That's the name. Thank you.
Yeah.
Barnacle and Dime.
Seen pretty similar things from both teams, aside from that carbon roller becoming a regular splat roller here. And considering the map, it's it makes a lot of sense. That big bubbler right near the basket, even just by that side ramp, it's going to do a lot of favors for the team. And they're just playing to get that roller into these solid positions, have all that long range pressure, the rapid, the crab, the pencil, trying to like get the roller in, even if their like front lines aren't really that forward facing. See how that gets them, and they already have 2 clams up, and they have a carbon in the base. Just try and make a lot of progress with that.
Yep. And then, oh no! Oh, the Rapid wanted to throw the big clam up to the roller. Unfortunately, at the same time, the roller got killed. So the big clam, the second big clam, unfortunately does get lost here. And Fleshter with, having just taken 20 points only, though. It was not more than one big clam. They are trying to get back into mid. They get one kill. The other guy had to jump back a little bit, and Fleshter are looking to get control, and it's only the Rapid left. The Rapid does go down here as well, and they just need the big clam, and they do have it now, and that might be a lead switch here since they are very stable currently in their positioning.
As soon as that push came through, well, I was going to say Fletcher came back, and now it looks like Oingo Boingo Brothers is going to come back with this one. As soon as those points were scored, came back, got 3 down, and they're finding the clams right now to get another push of their own. Might be a bit too aggressive with this one, as the Rapid falls down to the bamboo, as so does the roller. And right now we're back to this sort of evenish game, just trying to figure out how to get an advantage in mid right now, as Oingo Boingo Brothers does have a clam on deck, but they're being forced back so hard by all these frontline weapons on the side of Fletcher, just trying to fight all the time, figuring out how are we going to get our clam back, how are we going to find any opening right now, just push them with all these aggressive weapons, and that's another score on the side of Fletcher right here.
Yeah, they have the cooler ready now. They have another big clam. Are they going to jump in? They are going to jump in. Will they be able to score it? No, unfortunately not. And the big clam will probably be lost here again, with the Oingo Boingo Brothers trying to desperately keep their side of the map uncontested now, having moved back the members of Fleshter a bit. Well, never mind. There's a blaster getting 2 down on the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers, and they are again at a disadvantage. Jumping back in though, and they are currently contesting mid, trying to get back that mid control. A big clam on both sides, ready to use whenever. And the strikes are coming out, so we are seeing Flesher trying to move back in immediately, with a roller going down as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of patience going on in this lobby right now. Just Fletcher is very scared of that roller, trying not to let anything get in, because if they do, they know that there's going to be something massive coming in. The roller finds a trade with that S-Blast, so that's going to sort of mitigate the push, but it's really figuring out how to find a way in for both of these teams, and it's looking like the roller is the most effective method for the Oingo Boingo Brothers. Even if they go down, they're going to get those points, and they're going to set up for other teammates, potentially getting another clam nose stop right next to the basket. Just a bit too far to score that one. And it's going to be another neutral reset, not in the favor of the Oingo Boingo Brothers. Even if they have map control, they need to figure out a way to get back to this basket, get back to scoring, and take that lead back.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not very big leads. One big clam from Fleshter will take the lead, unless I'm being stupid right now. But no, one big clam from Fleshter, from the Oingo Boingo Brothers, should be enough to give them that lead switch that they need currently. Only 40 seconds left on the clock, and mid is as contested as it's been the past couple of minutes, with small pushes happening, and they genuinely only need one more small push to give them that win. And the bubble is set up, the whales are out, Fleshter is forced into the corner basically of the map, and they just need to get that big clam in, and that might be it, that is it, and that is the lead here for the Oingo Boingo Brothers. Just 3 seconds left, and I think that is just enough time to get that overtime out of the way and give Oingo Boingo Brothers the second game.
Yeah, that they had their win condition and they played to it very well. Sort of almost at the end suffocating Fletcher into just giving them the space that they needed. And when somebody stepped out of line, they found their positioning. They found very great footing to just close out that game, score all the points that they needed and some more in order to really get their points on the board. You know, it looked like Fletcher had that in their cards for most of the game, but the Oingo Boingo Brothers is showing they have a fight to win. They are trying to get this set, really.
Yeah, I mean, Flechter was, on top of the game for the most of the game, I will say. But I mean, it only matters who won now. It was a close match nonetheless. Both teams had their pushes, and the Oingo Boingo Brothers, were just able to shred through Flesh's defenses at a time where it most mattered, which was at the end there. So good job on that.
I think rain cut out on my end. But we are back here with an even score going into Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard. Well, I'm not sure personally how this game is gonna go. It's been a very even set from both teams so far.
My Wi-Fi crashed. I'm sorry. I am back. Hopefully.
Yep, we hear you.
Good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can continue.
Well, I was just saying I don't know who's gonna come up on top for this Sturgeon game. It's been very even so far. I think the Oingo Boingo Bros. I really like their comp, honestly. Just the super long range with that rapid and that pencil. Kind of poking until they can find a good opening for the roller.
Yeah, I mean, in a roller comp, that is gonna be one of your most important objectives, especially as the supports or the backlines, is to make room to make that roller be as annoying as possible, and get them into as far as you can, basically, so they can fight as well as they can. Paint being one of the most important ones here. And we are moving into the match immediately with no comp switches on the side of Fleshta and a... I don't think we saw that S-Plus. I think that was a Rapid before, but it is a S-Plus now. Trying to fight a bit more with the roller, apparently here. Which I see it on this map. You gotta have to push on this map.
Yeah, there are a lot of tight corners for S-Blast to really push around in that Booyah Bomb. This is basically the best map for one of the best map modes for it. Being able to shark the tower, get a lot of advantage, and I mean, we're not seeing all the benefits of it right now as Oingo Boingo Bros isn't really able to generate a lot of momentum with this early push from Fletcher, just finding their way onto the tower and getting their players up right now.
Yeah, we see the roller here trying to approach, but having to jump out. The pencil here looking to just stall out as much as they can to just not let Fleshta push in further. And I mean, they're doing a good job, especially with the roller on the right side, having set up a bubble. Unfortunately, does go down, but that gives them enough time to get out the cooler, get out the booyah. They do immediately focus it on the tower, almost get Peely out of the game, but they survive here and are able to push through the first checkpoint here, and two people actually on the side of the Oingo Boingo, three people on the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers being sent back to their spawn, and well, it's looking like a very, very first solid and just uneven push from Fleshta here.
For a while there, you would have thought that the Oingo Boingo's base was Fletcher's because it was completely covered in blue right for a moment. Able to come back for a second, getting players into mid right now with that roller, with that Is that a Splashmatic? I think that's a Splashmatic. But they're really able to find mid right now, and that's going to be what gets them back into this game. Finding ways to essentially recreate what Fletcher was doing to them a couple minutes ago. And we can see that already set up 2 down on the side of Fletcher. Make that 3 down, just the bucket trying to survive for a second. See if they can stall the tower a bit with these strikes. It worked!
Oh.
They got 2 players going down, and the rest of the team is able to clean it up well enough. Divisive play that ended up working out really, really well for Fletcher.
Oh, but the splash from the back, getting out the crab, getting out too, and the third one getting taken out by the rest of their team. That was an insane push play from the splash here, giving Oingo Boingo Brothers the momentum that they need to get in, and the roller coming back to grab a drink and maybe setting up the bubble on the on top here. Maybe trying to Oh, the S-Blast trading, but the S-Blast from the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers got 2. Fleshter going down 3 now, and that does give Oingo Boingo Brothers the lead here as well, and Fleshter will need to run in to keep the game going.
They got scrappy, and at the end of the day, the Oingo Brothers, they know how to scrap. They cleared out everyone in that spawn, rode that tower all the way to victory, and secured that 3rd game on Tower Control Surgeon Shipyard. It's one of those maps where it can really get out of hand if you just let 1 or 2 players go down, and the Oingo Boingo Brothers, they figured out how to make those positions work for them, really.
Yeah, I mean, the Fleshter had a really good push at the start. They just couldn't hold the line once Oingo Boingo Brothers got the same momentum. I think they started rushing in at some time. I mean, the play here from the bucket did work out really well for them, but they weren't able to follow up on that since the bucket was all alone in front and their teammates had no time to get back into mid with that double kill from the bucket. And unfortunately, they did let the roller get in here on the right side. The S-Blast from the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers, as I said, getting a double here and that just securing them the win. Oh, that was a nasty kill from the roller and the crab here, by the way.
That splash and roller combination is honestly very, very lethal. That's what's getting them a lot of momentum in these pushes. Just being able to set up a crab, even just throw burst bombs to paint the ground a bit for that roller to find an opening. It's what's helping the Oingo Boingo Brothers find a lot of these really strong pushes that net them these games. And I'm wondering if they're gonna find that same sort of situation on Mahi zones here, because this map plays a bit different from, I think, everything that we've seen so far. It's pretty tight, and I'm wondering if the roller is going to be able to, if they're gonna find a good opening for this roller really, and just try and snowball it off of everything off of that.
Yeah, I mean, roller can be difficult to get in, but especially on this map, once it's in, it can camp the ledges really well. So while yes, difficult to get in the first place, unspotted, once it is in position, it is very difficult to get rid of. So if the Oingo Boingo Brothers get their roller into those under those ledges, they can secure a very good push. Unless Fleshter have something to say against that, and outplay, I'll say. You know, the blaster or the bucket can do that relatively easily with hitting, you know, above the ledge. So that might be their play for this match, just to watch out for the roller under ledges a lot and not play ledges if you don't have to. But we will see, since we are moving into the match right this instance. And again, no comp switch on the side of Fleshta. And, well, the Oingo Boingo Brothers are going back to their Rapid Pro. Apparently they might like S-Blast on tower control only.
And that seemed to be a one-time thing, but it's working out well for them. Getting a very early pick onto that bamboo, forcing the whole team back. This is very great positioning on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers finding kills on the rest of the team. That's gonna be a very, very great early opening. And even though they can't get the roller in like they want to, as you said, Jasmine's just gonna camp under that ledge as long as she can. Unfortunately, has to back out almost immediately. But as the water level drops, it's gonna open up the map a lot for the Oingo Boingo brothers. Their longer range weapons are gonna have a lot easier of a time just poking around, being able to fall back more and just have more control over the zone. Not giving an inch in this situation, just running the timer all the way down to 30 now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we see here the crab from the Oingo Boingo brothers trying to survive, does trade the S-Blast here. And, well, Fleshter is back in mid, do have control of the zone, and they just will need to hold it for the next 30 seconds or so and get the lead here and maybe push it down into a knockout as well, if they can, if they want to secure the 2-on-2 and get a chance at winning the set. And they're very close. They have the strikes out to stall out the Oingo Boingo brothers, and it's only 9 more seconds to go until the lead switch happens. And there we go, we have the lead switch here, and the Oingo Boingo brothers are looking to seriously try and get something. Oh, the crab. Oh, that's unfortunate.
And that booyah just happens to hit the right spot, and that's probably gonna be the game right there.
Look at them in the middle celebrating.
Having a grand old time.
Yeah, yeah, that is the match going to Fleshter here for a 2-2, and us trying to get a 3-2 here. We are at match point for both teams, going into Rainmaker Undertow as the next map mode.
Yeah, this game there were a lot of highs and a lot of lows for both teams, I have to say. That first minute or so for the Oingo Boingo brothers was just straight domination. They had so much space in that early game. They didn't really bite more than they could chew. Just being content with holding mid for a good while. Then Fletcher came back and they had something to prove with this play right here. The Booyah Bomb just taking down so many players all at once, and they realize, oh, that's the game. There's no way they can get back in the mid now, right? Unless some sort of freak play happened in those last 10 seconds. Yeah, they closed out that game very securely, very quickly.
Yeah, it was a 2-minute match or something, right? And both teams pushed really far, right? It was dominance from one side and dominance from the other, as you just said. But yeah, I mean, that is the 2-2. Fleshter will get a chance at winning the set here. But, I mean, both of them do. By whoever wins this next game wins the entire set. And it all comes down to Rainmaker Undertow, as I've already said. It's, again, a very tight map, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if we're going to see any major changes on the side of either team, because I'm thinking Fletcher, if they keep sticking with the comps that they've been running this whole set, I feel like it's an advantage of Fletcher. That bamboo combination with all the front lines, I feel like it's very favored in a map like this. Has a lot of these narrow hallways that, an S-Blast, a Slosher, and an NZAP, they might just have a good time running through it versus the longer range weapons on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers. So coming into this game, I'm wondering if we're going to see the same thing on the sides of both teams, honestly.
And I mean, Fleshter has been sticking to their one comp, and it's been semi-working, so they're not switching off of it. And so is the Oingo Boingo brothers, still keeping with that roller for the bubble, maybe to cheese a checkpoint or just to set up in the narrow corridors that this map offers, and the coolers going out basically immediately on both sides, and both of them basically just stalling right now, trying to maybe find the pick. And the S-Blast going down on the side of Fleshter might be that opening that the Oingo Boingo brothers need, with the crab coming out as well, and the rest of the team moving in.
Mm-hmm. They did change that rapid to the S-Blast for a bit more of that front-facing firepower. And it's not really looking amazing for them right now, I will say. That might just be the map, that might just be the positioning, but it's clear that right now Fletcher's finding their way to just get an early lead right now. Setting up with this Booyah Bomb, just stalling for a while as the rest of Oingo Boingo Bros is coming off their spawn, you know? It's a pretty solid position for Fletcher right now, seeing if they can get past this first checkpoint. As the Rainmaker goes down, a Booyah Bomb gets thrown out, and, well, it looks like we're back to fighting in mid right now.
Here we see Fleshter coming back out of the spawn, maybe getting back a little bit of control, but the pencil going down is bad news already, with the entire team of the Oingo Boingo Brothers still chilling in mid over here, very comfortable sitting up in mid with a pencil in the middle on the spine as well. Unfortunately, the roller does go down here this time, and maybe Fleshter will be able, with the Booyah here, able to take back a little bit of mid again, and, well, not really, unfortunately, the roller going down though, but the Oingo Boingo Brothers have been just keeping that mid control.
As they get a roller right behind Fletcher, coming in for that clean two-person kill, and pushing all the way up to that second checkpoint. They have the big bubbler online, getting ready to pop it right above the check and holding some nice space. This looks like a clear path to that first checkpoint for the side of the Oingo Boingo Bros. As they get 2 down, 3 down, and this might just be a straight path to the second checkpoint, if we're being honest. Does price tags come down? They're not enough.
Oh, they failed to take the Rainmaker. That was upsetting. They tried to get the Rainmaker out of the strikes, but they failed to do so. They do pick it now, but I mean, it's a little bit too late. The entire team of Fleshter is back in their spawn, and they are forced to go a little bit backwards to stay alive. But now they are trapped, and they do go down, and that is probably the end of the push for now for the Oingo Boingo Brothers.
What could have been a massive, massive lead for the Oingo Boingo Bros, it turned into, you know, Fletcher did some lost control, made sure that it didn't get too out of hand, and now they're securely still sitting fine in this game. Pretty well with that pencil going down. Very, very cheeky pick from the side of the bamboo, but dealing with the roller right there, it's looking like they can find a way to that checkpoint. As Oingo Boingo Brothers is rushing into position to defend, they might see some players go down, might not be able to really defend this checkpoint to the best of their ability, and they let it slip. It might be a lead swap right here, although it's not a lot of points, it matters a lot in the long term. This map can be really hard to push on, and with 1:25 left, Fletcher in the lead, it's looking a bit scary for the Oingo Boingo Bros.
Oh yeah, the bamboo is making quick work of basically everyone on the side of the Oingo Boingo Brothers do go down here, but with a 20-point lead, which, I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot, but as you just said, it can be a little bit difficult to push in on this map, since it is such a tight corridor, and it is very easy to defend most of the time if you have some specials or just a longer range weapon watching the checkpoint. So the Oingo Boingo Brothers will need to push out Fleshter to the best of their abilities to get back into their spot. And well, I mean, they are Fleshter is 3 down now, so that works.
That play from the roller just found 3 people in the same spot, took it to the bank, and that might just spell the whole game, as they're going to get a big bubbler up in a prime position. That might be covering the line they need to get right over the lead. They get it. The Oingo Boingo Brothers pushes all the way to 27 points. 20 seconds left. Oh, they wiped
can
them.
push further.
I thought that the other team got wiped, but you know, let's make it 5. Let's make it 5, and let's close out the game right here. Can they get a repop right now? 2 down on the side of Fletcher. It's looking close, but Fletcher is able to grab it again. Rainmaker in hand. 60 seconds left on the clock now. Can they figure out a way to get this Rainmaker down to 4 points all the way from their spawn right now?
The thing is, this might be a little bit difficult. They don't have a lot of time, and they don't have the checkpoint to reset that time, so they have to move quick. But 2 members of the Oingo Boingo brothers go down right now, and the rest are just trying to maybe shark out the Rainmaker and or the other members of Fleshta to ensure a good win. The Rainmaker getting 2 here, but I don't think it's enough. Oh, maybe it's enough time, and if they move quickly enough, since it is a relatively small map. But the Crab does immediately shut that down here. They will need to move, though. They are also moving, and they get another one. But I don't think it's enough time.
Well,
it's... Wait,
there
wait,
are
wait,
that was a
wait,
wipe on the side. Oh, that is a nail biter set. A game 5 down to the wire overtime Rainmaker. It couldn't get any
my
more
God.
poetic than that.
I just sat in shock for like a good 5 seconds. They got the wipeout, but they didn't have enough time, and the Oingo Boingo brothers were able to respawn quickly enough to just barely stop the lead from going to Fleshta. I think I'd be upset if I was Fleshta, but still, it was a well fought set. And a well fought last game that was incredibly close. Nail biting, as you said, is probably the best word to describe it. And yeah, but this set does end up going to the Oingo Boingo brothers here, going into winners finals now against Duckraft in a couple of minutes. I mean, I guess we can just yap until then. I don't think it would take too much time for them. I hope it won't take too much time for them to join the lobby.
Yeah. But I'm still just in shock, really, that even this final push on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers to get it up to that 5, that was honestly spectacular. From the triple with the roller to free popping the rain to this magnificent fight here right at the end, and just closing out from that one burst bomb, stopping the momentum. I think if that burst bomb didn't get thrown, it might have been a different story altogether. Just that is how close of a set we were talking about.
Yeah, every game was just a back and forth from both sides. This set was genuinely a joy to watch, especially the last game. I always love commentating because I want to just, you know, set myself into the minds of the players, and I can tell they were probably like hyped as one can be in, you know, playing that, especially the last couple of seconds. I think were genuinely like heart racing for the players. That was insane.
I would pay to hear what was happening that Oingo Boingo VC a couple minutes ago, because just screaming, shouting, like pure raw excitement. That's what Splatoon does to you sometimes. Just get so in the moment, and it's gotta feel so good to win a set like that. But you can't let all the adrenaline go right now. You've got to face a very tough team up here in winners finals with Duckraft.
Exactly, and we are currently waiting on the members of both teams to join into the lobby. I am probably a little bit sure that the Oingo Boingo brothers are currently trying to, you know, drag this out a bit and, you know, get their excitement down after that heart racing set of theirs. You kind of need a little bit of a break, but we see 2 members currently. I don't know of which teams, but 2 people are missing currently, and we're gonna need to wait for them just a couple of minutes to come back. And then, yeah, look at those cute dogs while we're at it. Look at the stream. Look at those cute dogs. They're very adorable. All right. Dog, I have a small dog, and he's asleep right now. But yeah, they're very, very cute animals. I just like animals in general, though.
Mm-hmm.
But we can look. We're immediately back on Undertow, by the way, for the next set. Being, as we've already mentioned, the Oingo Boingo brothers versus Duckraft. We are on Undertow Spillway, but this time we're on tower control. So maybe different comps, maybe not. Relatively similar map on the only really big difference is that you can't go on the left side and the tower stays relatively in mid most of the game. Um, so I mean I don't see this. I mean it's not one of the most uncommon map modes, but I don't see it that often either.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was like the left side, right? That it's so when you say that it's gone from the left side, you're saying that from like your POV, right?
I'm looking at when I'm going into the. I guess you can go neither side theoretically,
Yeah,
as you can on Rainmaker.
because
I was
what?
looking from like when I'm looking at the opponent's base, the left side, um, where the tower goes immediately.
Wait, I'm being obtuse right now because I realized, yeah, you're looking at the left side, and I was thinking, well, are you calling the left side the right side or the right side the left side? Because I thought you were talking about like the ramp that you go on during Rainmaker that's not there in a lot of other modes. Oh no, that the one
Oh,
that's there in most modes. Because I realized, oh, you can't get to their spawn in like on both sides on
yeah,
this map.
yeah. I only realized that just now. Yeah, the ramp is gone as well. There's a tower jump you can do when the tower like is on the left side. You can go on the grates. Can you do that? Yeah, you can. And you
Mhm.
can also. There's the middle path. There's the middle path. That's how the map is built. I forgot
Yeah,
how the map on this mode is built. There's the
that's how
middle
rarely you
ramp.
see it.
Yeah. There's the middle ramp that you can go onto into their spawn. Uh, Trade off of that is both sides are blocked. Like the left side and the right side are blocked off. There is only a sponge, like a defensive sponge on the. If I'm looking at my base now, left side. Yeah. Um, So there is only one way into their spawn, or through the tower jump onto the grates on the left side. You can also do that. It's a little bit safer since it's not as predictable. But if you can get on the ramp, good for you. You're in the enemy spawn now, and you have a good position, especially as a Slayer.
Yeah, honestly, this map is kind of underrated for me. I like it a bit. Props to Duckraft for picking it, but it's one of those tower maps that's not like it's weirdly even though it's kind of weird. Undertow's just like one of those weird maps.
Yeah. I Undertow is weird in the sense, like for me, is that it's not necessarily bad on any modes, but it's not great on any either. I think all modes on this map specifically is alright. I think zones is probably the worst one.
Yeah, you just have that narrow center where you have to like fight through the zone if you actually want to get through it, or you take that ridge and it's awkward. This map is awkward. I think that's the best way to put it.
It is really awkward. It's incredibly narrow, and it's really weird to do team fights on it as well, since the middle is split, right? Like once you're past the middle, it's fine, but in mid, it's really easy to get split as a team and just lose fights that way because like two people are going left and two people are going right. Um, it's very difficult to position on this map sometimes. So we'll see how Duckraft and the Oingo Boingo brothers will fare in this game. We are in the weapon select screen right now, waiting on the teams to finally lock in their comms, and yeah.
Mhm. Going into this first game, I'm expecting some pretty standard stuff from both these teams. We've seen both of them play already. Uh, I I believe both of them have dedicated blaster players, uh, and that's going to be a big thing on this map. Tower control, of course, but in terms of what other weapons they're running, they had I believe it was Oingo Boingo Bros had that ends up with a cooler, then Duckraft had a heavy edit as their main cooler weapon. So it's kind of this clash of different styles right now.
Ooh, yep. Well, they have a pencil now. No, they had the pencil, right? Um, with we see a pencil versus a heavy edit. Pencil usually wins this one, but again, anything can happen here. That's just the matchup talking with the Lunar Blaster coming out from acing again, especially on tower control. Good, uh, you know, mode for it specifically. And this is what we're talking about. The heavy edit got singled out by the roller on the right side. The splash here pushing the crab off of the tower, and the splash on the side of a duck raft trying to, find ground.
And Oingo Boingo Brothers is going to take that lead all the way to the bank right now. Don't see acing Sharking right there. Perhaps in a couple of seconds that'll become very apparent to them. As the pencil goes down on their side and the rapid goes down as well. That is quite the toss-up right there. Trying to save some face with that roller bubble, getting a couple picks actually, getting a lot of picks actually, and that's just going to turn the game around once again. This roller is really deciding a lot of these engagements for the Oingo Boingo Brothers.
Yes, I mean, it's really... roller can be very difficult to play against since you have to be aware of its existence basically 99% of the time. But they do go down here, and Duckcraft is able to stop the push from escalating further and going back into the mid. The Stamper here trying to Shark, unfortunately, does get painted over and is trying to survive. The left side over here does get back safely, and Duckcraft is trying to force a push over here. The heavy edit trying to hold the tower against the splash, and they are doing good. They're making good progress. The map is looking a lot more yellower than before, so that's a good thing. And the push has officially started with going to the first checkpoint. Right now, taking the lead as well, and the Oingo Boingo Brothers trying to stop that push. Unfortunately, not really being able to.
Yeah, that looked like a very dominant couple of seconds from Duckraft for a while, just not letting the map go unpainted for a hot minute, and the Zipcaster coming in to try and snipe that rapid, not going to be successful, but still finding themselves in a very advantaged position. Duckraft right now still have the tower painted, still have the map painted very dominantly in their color with the heavy edit, the splash, and it's going to make moving easier for their Slayer weapons. That Luna Blaster especially, just finding ways to get around the map. And it's a very, very difficult position to get back from if you're the Oingo Boingo Brothers, having to push back into mid against these weapons that are going to be sharking under the ledge all the time. With all these burst bombs being thrown at you too. The fizzy bombs from on the side of from the Luna Blaster, they're just getting berated no matter where they go, and you can see that as they're getting past this final checkpoint right now, grinding all the way to victory. 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, 0 points, and it's the first game on the side of Duckraft.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the Oingo Boingo Brothers were not able to get back once they were locked out. That might be an issue for them, even not only on this map but generally against the team of Duckcraft. They will need to find a solution against being, they basically got locked into their spawn once Duckcraft had the upper advantage. They couldn't fight back once that was the case, and they will definitely need to think about how to counter that for the next couple of games if they want the chance of getting into Grand Finals from the winner's side.
Duckraft just showing that they're the dominant team right now. Man, their entire spawn is just yellow right here. That's the most bizarre thing to me, honestly. Even with that roller in the back, they weren't able to really dilute their attention enough to get back on track, and it just looked like Duckraft was playing games for a while, finding the best way to get the tower to the end,
Yeah, exactly. The spawn being just full on in Duckcraft's color just comes to show how much the Oingo Boingo brothers were actually trapped. They couldn't even paint their own spawn. Especially the Zipcaster from the Stampa, just terrorizing the spawn from the Oingo Boingo brothers was, I think, very difficult to deal with. We saw the Rapid trying to fight it, not getting a pick on it, but I mean, at least surviving it. That's a good start. But they couldn't hold the tower enough to prevent the knockout from happening. But we will be moving on to Clan Blitz again on Barnacle and Dime here for the second time. And yeah, I think the pencil might have a better time on this since it is a slightly longer favored nap. It might be able to push out the heavy edit a little bit better, I feel.
Hmm. And we did see Oingo Boingo brothers have a very successful draw on this map last time. So can they recreate that sort of success against Duckraft right here? I'm wondering, are they going to have that roller really play that front-facing game, trying to get them in? Because this map is going to be very difficult to just get through that mid and get something set up, and that bubble is going to be a godsend for them. So I'm really wondering if Duckraft is going to be able to push back against this comp that Oingo Boingo Brothers has been beating everyone with pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, we're seeing an RB. I have been waiting. We are seeing an RB from the former roller player on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers. I feel like they are adapting with the Stampa as well, and the Splash, going for a more conventional team comp, I will say, and Duckraft sticking with the Luna Blaster Stampa comp. Slightly mimic him. Like, they're slightly mimicking each other right now, but Duckraft is finding themselves in their spawn basically immediately with a big clam ready to score, with two actually ready to score, and the Zipcaster doing quick work of some of their mates as well. The Splash just barely surviving the Zipcaster.
Yeah, you could call him Temu Duckraft right now, but that first push is not. It's showing they might actually be from Temu, honestly. 60 points on the board, not a minute on the clock, and Duckraft has the map painted in their color once again. It's been Oingo Boingo brothers trying to get their footing back into mid for a second now. Just a lot of players stuck in mid. Fortunately, they do get the pick on the Luna Blaster. It's going to give them a lot more space to move. They don't have to worry about just being sharked every once in a while. Getting a very nice kill with the Stamper right here, and that's going to generate a lot of forward momentum. Unfortunately, Asting is going to come in the back and find another pick, get an Ultra Stamp out. Fortunately, it doesn't amount to too much, but that might have been too much for Duckraft, honestly. Duckraft has just been keeping the map in their favor for the whole game, getting a Crab Tank set up on that pillar, and it's looking pretty dominant right now.
Yeah, the Stamper making a very good work of three of the members on the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers, and I mean almost 28, and I think this is going to be a knockout. This is a knockout. The big time coming in, I think, at max distance as well, just barely making it into the goal, getting a knockout on the Oingo Boingo brothers, which insane. I mean, well, on this map, it is very lockout heavy at times, especially when it comes to the spawn. It is very easy to spawn camp on this map specifically. So, I mean, it's one of the Clan Blitz maps where you are most likely to see an actual knockout happen.
There was a point during that game where my eyes widened and I saw, oh, they just know what they're doing. Duckraft is commandeering this match so hard. It was right about here when the Zipcaster landed and they double teamed the Stamper on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers and just generated so much momentum with this one play, stopping like anything that the Oingo Boingo brothers could really do at this point. So it's the question of right now, can they adapt? Can they find another? Are they going to go back to that comp that, it wasn't doing amazing in that first game, but they had very strong moments versus are they gonna keep switching around their comps to find something that works against Duckcraft and stick with it? Because right now Duckcraft set point and it's looking like they're running the show right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Oingo Boingo brothers trying to adapt to Darkcraft's comp with the RB and the sticker stampo, was it? So I think they are trying, and I am also excited to see whether they will keep trying or they just go, okay, if we're gonna try this, we're gonna go back to our original comp, because that's what we're best with. That is gonna be completely their choice, whatever they do with that. On Zone's Hagglefish here, which we're gonna move into immediately now, and it is match point as the screen says for Duckraft here.
Coming in with the same comp on the side of Duckraft, and we're
Paintbrush.
seeing another dramatic switch up on the side of the Oingo Boingo Bros. That Paintbrush, I have not seen a lot of this weapon, so I'm gonna be very surprised what it's gonna do. It has that splat wall. It's great on Hagglefish Market for just shutting down that center zone, and we already see it going down by just a brutal display of offense on the side of Duckraft, trying to get as many picks as possible in these first couple of seconds. Cooler online, everything online, just can they find some great opening right now?
Yeah, and we see the Oingo Boingo brothers having control of the mid now with the strikes ready from the bucket. And they are coming out as well. The Stamper on the left side trying to shark out a bit. The bucket smelling them apparently though. And the Zipcaster coming out as well, trying to put a little bit of pressure on to the Oingo Boingo brothers from angles that they couldn't have done from the left side. And they had to jump out here because of the crab now, and it is very even, but Duckcraft does take the lead here for a bit.
And I think that Paintbrush is actually doing a lot more work than I honestly anticipated. That wall in the center, just being able to lay off so much paint in mid and contest zone so easily yeah, and it gets to Trizuka. It doesn't break the crab, but it does a lot of damage. It's gonna stop them in their tracks right there. And I was not looking at the score. I thought the zone was in contention this whole time, but Duckraft has been running away with the lead a bit for now, ticking down from 15 onwards. If Oingo Boingo Bros does not do something soon, it's gonna look like a close game as the zone goes into contention, being painted over by both teams ferociously. One goes down on the side of the Oingo Boingo Bros, two go down, and that's going to be the set.
Yeah, unfortunately, Duckcraft was able to display their dominance in this set. I mean, the Oingo Boingo brothers, they had tried to switch out their comms, try to, adapt to what Duckcraft was doing to them. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, and they are being sent into losers bracket now, with Duckcraft moving on into grand finals, and they will have to wait for a bit until losers bracket finals is done. I mean, they're currently in losers bracket round 5. They are currently playing that. After that will be losers bracket semis, which will be streamed. So every match after losers bracket round 5 in this paddling pool will be streamed. Then losers bracket finals, and then you will get to see grand finals.
Right, I believe that's it from us for now. It's been a very exciting couple of sets here. Just seeing a lot of these cool storylines from teams. That last set with Fletcher and Oingo Boingo brothers was I'm never gonna be able to get that out of my mind, honestly. And even seeing like Duckraft just tear up the Oingo Boingo brothers after that, it's been very entertaining to watch, very entertaining to cast with you, Rain. And where can the people find you?
Well, I mean, you can see it on screen right now. Our Blue Sky handles. I can be found under at Range Blaster with a double I, basically anywhere on Twitter, on Discord, on Blue Sky. that's basically where you can find me. Where can we find you?
You can also find me on Blue Sky, Draco Meteor Storm. But yeah, I think that's it for now, and signing out. Peace.
Bye bye. See you some other day. Surprise, we lied. Me and he are not done yet. This is gonna be our last set though, but we are not as a duo currently. We are joined by Sig, who will be replacing us later as well. So we're just doing this as a trio right now. Hello, Sig.
Hi, how's it going, y'all? How have the sets been?
Uh,
There have been a mix of nail biters and some like dominant showing so far. Honestly, just a real hoopla, you could call it, mixed bag.
yeah, we had like genuinely heart racing matches in, I think it was in the semis, and but I mean we are watching the losers bracket right now, and the Tetra doing a lot of distraction work on the right side, unfortunately going down though, and the zone going now to the side of Fletcher.
This is one of those matchups for Tetra especially where it's kind of tough, mostly because you're dealing with like an S-Blast and a Bamboo. Those things can really shut you down. You have to rely on the rest of your team. And so far, it's been going okay. Obviously, Eichel have a lead, but that's probably going to evaporate here right quick, thanks to Fletcher just getting a really solid stagger on this hold.
Yeah, the resider was, I think, a bit misplaced there, or maybe they meant to do that to trade the S-Blast, but they do go to down here on the side of Flechter. And the zone flips back to Ecol, and maybe we'll see a little bit of a lead switch again soon if they get the S-Blast down, which they do.
Yeah, there were a good amount of trades going out for a minute. Then Equal just found themselves out on top right there, just finding good picks, you know. I feel like Fletcher, I don't know, as you were saying, Sig, like Fletcher, I feel like should have the upper hand here. A lot of their fighting weapons just sort of combat that style that Equal wants to play at, and you're kind of seeing it right now. But it's still a pretty even game, all things considered.
I mean, when you have some of the best players on there in Europe, anything can really happen, especially when it's Silver and everybody on Equal. This is a very, very tough task for Fletcher, especially just on the crazy run they're on right now. And it looks like this Slosher is going to have a little bit more to say as the only player left standing. Going to have to fight this 1v2 against Silver, and I believe that's Devin on the leader, just opting to jump out. And, I mean, Eichel are still in very firm control here. It's going to be tough for Fletcher to get back in the face of that leader, especially.
Oh yeah, but the cooler comes out here, and the S-Bus is trying to find an opening into right side, maybe distract some of the members on Eco to give their mate an opportunity to get in, and they're kind of they're in a problem state right now with the Stamper right below them with the Booyah, but they end up getting the zone here. And maybe the bucket on the left side with the S-Bus as their helper can find a pick, which they do, but the S-Bus does go down.
That was a really, really solid play from Pelly to just draw a lot of eyes over for the rest of the team. But, I mean, you can only stall for so long as a lone zap, and immediately Eichel are just taking so much space back here. It's just Kenshin left. And, I mean, this is just such an impossible spot for a Bamboo.
Yeah, you have so many people just looking at you. You have that leader looking at you, especially. You get one angle wrong, and that's it. You're just out of there. And, you know, all things considered, they're finding a way back. It's just the leader on the map right now. And running away from the killer whale, from everything. Able to jump out, finally. Had to chase him all the way around the map just for that one jump. But it's looking like the game's back in Fletcher's favor as the S-Blast goes down. A bit of an unfortunate pick right there, but they're still holding on to this map really well, getting out that cooler right now, trying to, you know, push some offense here.
Yeah, we see the leader trying to... Oh! Yeah, we see the leader trying to hold the sight lines on the right side of the map, trying to hold a little bit of ground, and them going in very aggressively, trying to take even more space, being a little bit greedy with it. But I mean, they can hit their shots, they know what they're doing. But unfortunately, they are being run down right now by a bucket, which we're not going to see now.
I mean, that leader had to jump out immediately to avoid getting splatted there, especially with the respawn Punisher. That is such a difficult That is a difficult loss that you have to deal with if they do go down. Silver, with the Booyah Bomb to recap this zone, it's going to give a lot of space to Eichel and give them a little bit more breathing room, applying that penalty, making sure Fletcher have to just reset this zone and win yet another fight. Just 5 seconds left. We're going straight into OT. Somebody needs to cap this zone real quick. It's going to be Fletcher. They've given themselves another chance, but they're going to have to find another couple of picks, especially into this Zap and Tetra.
And you can see the leader on the side of Eagle right now, just trying to find one pick so that it can get them into an advantageous position. But right now they're down in numbers, don't have a lot of people really pushing in mid, but the Reef Slider is going to hit that zone. And there's a Tetra distracting people from behind, a Booyah Bomb hitting the zone. Bucket goes down to go down on the side of Fletcher. It's getting a bit dicey here as there are just a couple ticks left on it. One tick.
Oh, barely.
It was like 2 people on each side left standing, the 2 zaps, or the 2 shooters, trying to just paint the zone. But yeah, well, what my brain, Eco was able to hold the zone for longer and get the cap at the end here and preserve their lead.
Yeah,
Very.
That was close. Way too close if you're either team. You want to find something to really establish that lead, I think, in these coming games. Because both teams had their very strong moments, but they need to find a way to, like, separate themselves. Just find a strong showing, really.
And, I mean, we saw with this stall at the very end of the game, from, the Reef Slider, the Booyah Bomb, all this kind of stuff. It gave all this space for the Zap and Tetra and Sword to just contest that zone for long enough. And eventually, the players on Fletcher did have to just try and turn for a fight. And that meant they couldn't paint the zone nearly as much, and that gave Equal the win right here. Very, very solid play. Although it did get dicey there, like we talked about. But I mean, going into the next map, I mean, this feels pretty good, especially for kind of an awkward pairing and matchup for the leader and Tetra here.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we are back to a best of 3, I should mention, since we are in losers bracket semis? Yeah, semis. It should be semis. Yep, yeah. It is semis. Since it is a best of 3, we are also at a match point for Ecola right now, moving into tower control on ship shape. Also, maybe a very good map for the Blaster player, the S-Bus and the Stampers. They always have fun on tower, obviously. And we'll see what they do with that.
Ship shape it's an odd map. You love it sometimes, you hate it sometimes. It's just, can somebody get to that first checkpoint? Can you get somebody secured on that first checkpoint? And can you even find a method for that second checkpoint, really? Because that's where all of the dire plays happen. It's just very hard to defend from that point. So can either team devise a really strong strategy? I feel like they will. If you're making it to this point of the tournament, you're gonna have a very strong strategy here.
My main question is just how are both teams going to generally deal with the weapons with Booyah Bomb? Not because of the special, but because of the mains. You have Silver on the sticker stamper, which is just incredibly strong wherever, but especially on ship shape. I feel like just the ability to poke from the opposite side of the map when you're fighting in court is so incredibly strong. If you're sitting in pit, you can use that. And then the Blaster, unsure of who it is on Fletcher, but that weapon is just ridiculous when it comes to contesting ledges, which, I mean, when you're playing around a tower, that's basically wherever the objective is.
And this map especially, because there's that spawn ledge that it's going to be able to poke right above it. That's where a lot of players are going to want to defend from. There are a lot of sneaky ledges on this map, so that Blaster is going to come in a lot of value here.
Yeah, I think especially when you do end up pushing, you want to go on the top right of the enemy base, and that or again, if you want to defend, you want to be there as well, and the and blasters have a much easier time of fighting that and getting on top of there. Um, to actually get a push going, because you don't want somebody being up there, because that is a very strong position to hold.
And it looks like we're switching over to Sturgeon, actually, instead of Ship Shape. That's quite a different map. Definitely a little bit more difficult for weapons.
That,
Oh,
no.
never mind. It's Ship Shape. Okay.
Oh my god.
I was a little bit confused. I'm like, wait a minute. This changes things quite a lot for especially the leader and the charger, but it is still Ship Shape. I think the bamboo and the leader are two things that we still need to keep our eyes out for, though. Just based on the range and everything. What are your thoughts on that, T?
That's stupid. There's a bamboo in this lobby?
Yeah, Kenshin plays it.
Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with like everybody.
Mhm.
But a bamboo is very interesting, especially because there are a lot of kits you could play with this. I'd suspect that the whale one is the one that'd be picked here, right? But yeah, bamboo and leader, those are two weapons that can definitely work very well on this map. And just hitting tower, leader especially, is just devastating because there aren't a lot of like there's not a lot of cover from a lot of positions that these frontline weapons want to take when they're pushing into that core area. So I think leader would be a leader for the safe play, I feel, but I think that bamboo has the swag factor to it here.
Yeah. The thing is, like, when you're pushing, a bamboo is exceptionally good at protecting the left, the great area, right? They can just, sit there, and the enemy team will not be able to push through that area, since the bamboo will just shoot at you. There's no cover except for the little gap that the black box provides on the right side, but it's not a lot, and it's definitely not enough to actually push forward. So the bamboo will be exceptionally good, as well as the Stamper and the 96 at defending that area specifically. And we are moving in, as we can see, with the 96 that I just mentioned with the cooler.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a switch up. I want to highlight as well. Opening gambit on both sides, the Tetra and the Bamboozler. Already, though, that Tetra immediately going down, same with two other members of Equal. And for only the cost of 2 on the side of Fletcher, that's going to give them that first tower push. Pelly's already riding it, getting that cooler ready. Kenshin pushing forwards, just walking forward without a care in the world, able to find one before getting traded. And that, you have to assume, is going to lead to a pretty solid push here after the checkpoint for Fletcher.
That bamboo really coming in on that left side, just walking across that bridge, all that run speed. There's not a lot that can stop it. You guys are right about that. But coming back to this new push, well, I guess it's not even a new push. This is the same push, just restarted again. Had to stop for a second just because they were being pressured out so hard. But the leader's going to be able to defend their honor right there. Clean shot. And it's going to be favor again for Equal, trying to get their foot on the gas right now. Spent the first minute of the game just trying to defend, but now they have players on the forefront, have a lot of players surrounding that first checkpoint, trying to see if they can get anyone pushed up ahead, maybe someone pushing through that center, try and get some split attention.
Yeah, we can see them trying to defend the right side with the Greats as best as they can. They do get forced out. Fleshed with a Booyah Bomb here, too, having to drop into the low ground. Maybe not ideal, but they get down the Tetra and can come back from behind, maybe to stop a little bit of a push, but the lead does switch over to Equal here. And while they're not done, the Tetra has... the Tetra is dead, I guess, but the remaining members of Equal are trying to hold that the push as much as they can. They do end up going down, though, unfortunately.
That was a really clever drop from the Tetra Duelists. I really liked just dropping down into pit to kind of get those two players to follow you and just allow Devin on that leader to take that lead. But immediately afterwards, though, you go 4 players down on this defense. The Slosher has the tri-strikes as well. That lead's flipping right back, and they're looking to clear the second checkpoint. Almost on the verge of a KO, and against this double AoE, you have to be so wary around swinging these ledges. The Tetra is able to find one, but not the second. The checkpoint is gone, and the S-Blast still on this tower, riding it for that KO. Silver's not able to do anything, and Fletcher even up that score.
That was a very epic final push from Fletcher there. Just getting past that second checkpoint can be devastating to get through. Sometimes they cleared it in an instant and showed that, they're the favorite team to win. Well, they should be the favorite team to win. Just blowing past a lot of these players. Who was it riding at the tower at the end? I think it was the Zap. But there were moments where they just, at that very first push, Fletcher just had a very good handle on the game. They sort of let Eco get back in the front seat for a bit, but they were able to bring it back in a very good way.
Yeah, I mean, as you just said, it was still very back and forth. Both teams got their leads at different times in the match, but Flechter were just able to hold that push for long enough and stagger out Eco for long enough to actually get that KO going, which can be difficult on this map, but they did have the right side, the top right side, under their control, which did help a lot, as we can see over there with Kenshin holding the top right with the bamboo, now dropping, but the bucket still being there, being able to hold until the knockout.
Getting one of your AoE weapons to jump in there is just absolutely massive. You can just, especially if it's the Slosh, you can just heave those 50 to 70 damage hitboxes just about anywhere, and it makes the defense, their lives just so much more difficult. Now we're going to a little bit of a different map here on Undertow Spillway Rainmaker. You're not going to be able to rely on getting into some cheeky spot with a jump in or anything. You have to, kind of almost brute force your way through one of the 2 Rainmaker paths. And this might be a little bit of a tougher map for Ecol as well. What are your thoughts here, T?
Yeah, if they're running through with that leader, infamously not amazing on Rainmaker, but I still believe they can pull through. But we have actually seen a Fletcher on Rainmaker in a previous set. It was one of the closest sets I'll ever see, and they played it really spectacularly. Just, I think with all the chip damage that their comp provides, it's a very interesting one for this map, but I'd like to focus my attention to Eco, honestly, because they're not running on the leader. They have that Splat Charger ready to go, actually.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna go for a little bit of a vac cheese, I feel, but we do see Flesh immediately running it on the left side, and no one's protecting the left side right now, so they have free reign right now. Unfortunately, don't get the checkpoint as Pele goes down just as they were trying to get the checkpoint, and 2 people drop on the remaining 2. The bucket gets one into a trade, but that will be it for the first push of the game.
Yeah, and immediately Ecol with a lot of pressure going forward. Silver's able to pop that Booyah Bomb right on the checkpoint. Aga is here with the Slosher, though, just trying to clear a little bit of space, not quite going to with that Rainmaker shot. And, the Zap is trying to shred that Booyah Bomb with the Charger, going to give the pop over to Fletcher in the meantime, which means they're likely going to... Oh, never mind. They're going to lose the lead here to a little sneaky play from the Stamper of Ecol. But that's going to give them all of mid back here, and with Tri-Strikes and a Killer Whale and possession of the Rainmaker, you have to think that this is going to go back to Fletcher's lead pretty quick.
Well, Ecol had some players behind those pushers on Fletcher right there, and it looks like they're just going to reset that situation, get back onto their side with the Charger holding the Rainmaker, but that push is not going to last for too long. Wasn't able to secure a significant amount of space, and Fletcher is going to come back in this tug-of-war game, just vouching for space, gonna paint up mid. Can they find something? Nope, that Charger set up in mid right now. And you know, it's kind of looking like Eco's controlling the pace of this whole game so far.
I mean, with a Charger on the team, I always say Charger is one of those weapons that can genuinely control the entire match if they want to, since everybody on the enemy team will have to watch out for that Charger, and, well, the VAG does save them a little bit, but Fleshter is looking to get the checkpoint here on the left side. Maybe they get it this time. They do get it this time, but unfortunately the Rainmaker carrier does go down as well, and they are not able to take the lead, but the checkpoint has been broken, so that is already a good start. The Tetra on the left side, though, having the Reef side already, and is also ready to just cause mayhem.
I mean, already finding a pick with that Booyah Bomb as well. This Reef Slider able to clear just about any corner that you could dream of, able to find one onto Noctis. Almost, there's the pick on the Pelly as well, but it's not enough to push that Rainmaker forwards, as I believe it was Agate that dove in onto the Rainmaker, and now Fletcher have another shot at taking this lead back. Only one special on board right now with that Killer Whale, but they have a set of Tri-Strikes now on that Slosher. The Rainmaker is in their control, but immediately lost again in mid. You have to just monitor this Rainmaker a little bit more if you want to like reset it, because stuff like this can happen, and now Eagle will have another just chance to stall.
Yeah, that's a repeat situation. Same thing happened before, trying to push the Rain quickly, had a lot of players set up on that left side, but the Charger's setup still just peeking over that ledge, you know? You've got to clear all of these parts of the map because this Charger is going to be looking everywhere. And, oh... there's so much stuff happening in this game, it's so difficult to just track sometimes. Like, they have been going back and forth, trading the Rainmaker almost every 20 seconds. And it's right back to where Eco wants it to be, just next to that checkpoint. And this is the exact situation they would love. That back is set up in the greatest place. The Booyah Bomb is going to paint them into further territory. 13 points on the board. That might just be GG for them.
Oh, and the pop with the back shot immediately into sneaking for the KO.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's evil!
What?
I didn't mean to say that.
Oh god! Oh, that's so rough. Surviving the shooter on the side of Fleshter and just running it through and actually getting the knockout. Oh, ow, ouch.
They cleared everyone else on the team, but that last player just ran through with the Rainmaker. And they scored it. Sometimes it just happens.
I don't think they expected that to work either. I think they just went for like, okay, let's just get another like 2 points or so. But I mean, it worked for them.
Yeah, I mean, Vac Charger is just so strong, especially on this map in Rainmaker. You can just basically get 20 to 30 free points just by doing that. And I mean, that's one of the positives of Vac Charger being kind of buffed here. Just being able to score a lot of extra points. And I mean, we know how good Devin is on Chargers in the first place. When you give them a Rainmaker specific kit that is ridiculously strong, I mean, this kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing in the replays here the Tetra trying to, force the openings. And I mean, they did win this set. The Tetra did really well work of almost the entirety of Fleshter on this side. Unfortunately, their entire team was down, so that was the end of the push. But I mean, it's a Tetra. It just runs in and it just tries to get as much attention as just possible.
Yeah, these pushes just got so wild sometimes. Like you saw the Charger and the Zap just run it forward one time, and they almost got pretty far. And then with this final push, everyone goes down.
Look at it!
And
Look at it! Oh!
Pristine squid roll, dodges every single bullet, and that's just the set. Eagle knows how to do it.
I bet the Zap probably felt like so cheated in that moment. Like that, like they were shooting at the Rainmaker, and the one guy from Equal just went, no, I'm taking it and I'm running it, and you can't stop me. Which yeah.
Oh, Pelly almost had it too. That is a pretty rough way for the tourney run to end. But yeah, I mean, like the top of the screen says, Eagles moving on to the lower bracket finals. They're going to face off against the Oingo Boingo brothers after this quick break.
Yeah, and I think this will be it for real now for me and T. Sig will be replacing us with a new caster in a couple of minutes. So I'm happy to have been here. It was a lot of fun. The couch cast was funny. Unexpected but very fun. I hope you all enjoyed our commentary, and we will see you some other day probably.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Paddling Pool 344. I'm Sig. Joining me on the mic now is Fantomu. And we are here with losers finals of Paddling Pool. We've got the Oingo Boingo brothers versus Ecole. And we are on Museum de Alfonsino. I think it's Clam Blitz. Yes, it is. Fantomu, how you feeling?
Hydra Bubble is not something I've seen on paddling before. Well, like at this stage of the game, so I'm glad to see it. That's a really quick wipeout, actually. Yeah, Icol should be able to get a power clap in here. Not if the pencil tries to stop them. Oh, they're running for it. They got it in.
It's not going to
the
stop
second
them for
clap,
very
though.
long. Yeah, that's gonna give a little bit of scoring, but Devin's gonna have to back up here. Yeah, now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen this Hydra at all in a weekly since it got released. But it's cool to see some representation now. Pretty solid on this map when you're not playing into unfortunately a charger, but there is a sniper rider on the other side of the map, so it could be a little bit tougher to deal with. So far, though, Ecol doing a pretty solid job. Silver's going to be able to pop that Booyah Bomb, get one pick onto the S-Blast player, and just try and move forwards with this Tetra, just try and make a little bit more space, able to find the Rapid and force another jump out before the Crab Tank is popped. But the Oingo Boingo brothers are still just barely holding on to their plat here.
I do like how the names are like Boingo and Boingo. Yeah, we see Hydra trying to poke onto the plat, getting pushed by the Rapid. They might be forced to back out. Not unless their teammate saves them. But yeah, they are gonna have to play defensively from plat here, as the Oingo Boingo brothers have pretty good control of a mid.
So far, so good for Ecol, though. They're able to find a couple of picks, actually, with Devin walking forward, finding 3, as well as the Zap and the Tetra just taking space on plat. They're able to just cobble together another power clam, just a few more mini clams, too. We're already down to 60 points here. The big bubbler going to actually inadvertently splat 2 players on Ecol with that Booyah Bomb. But, I mean, that's going to give Aaron just a little bit more time to score some more clams here. Almost down to 50 points before having to reset back to mid. And Devin's already standing there with a charge and a power clam ready to go.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Oingo Oingo brothers get a push in this match at all. They've tried, but they haven't been very successful with it. S-Blast is going in really, really aggressive, trying to sneak in, but it seems that the Hydra sees them. Oh, they are able to get the pick on the Zap. Will they be able to find another? It does not seem like it, but that did allow the Oingo Boingo brothers to get further into that spawn.
But, I mean, now with the big bubbler back up, as well as the Tetras stalling Boingo for quite some time here, it's going to give the rest of the team some time to catch up here on the side of Ecol. They have really not let go of this game at all, have played some fantastic defense in the meantime. Now they're setting up for another push. That Booyah Bomb is going to shred the Crab, find the pick. There's 2 players down, though, and make that a third as Silver drops to the Rapid Blaster. It's just Devin left yet again, but as with every time, able to pop a big bubbler, get out of there, and get another charge up, ready to stop the offense of the Oingo Boingo brothers. I mean, so far, this pick has worked out fantastically, don't you think?
Yeah, you can really see that it's really, really good at holding space. Like, once something is in its sight, it can pretty much just shred it immediately. Oingo Boingo brothers is kinda in, like, a pickle. S-Blast is able to get out just because they have the cooler buff. Able to get that pick on the Zap, trying to escape, but not quite being able to get back mid.
I mean, Oingo Boingo brothers have mostly been stuck on their plat for the entire game, able to find 2 picks. There's Devin finally down. Are they able to capitalize with it? Finds another onto Silver. It's just the Zap left standing of Aaron. However, they're able to back up to plat in time. You have to find something now in the last 30 seconds. You have 2 power clams. That's nearly enough to take the lead, along with what else you've accrued. The Booyah Bomb isn't going to find any picks. It's going to get picked instead. The Crab Tank from Boingo, too. Quite the same thing. Immediately shredded, but Silver goes down. So does the Pencil and the Rapid. It's 2-on-2 on the ramp, and that's going to favor the Hydra that's able to set up every day of the week. The Blaster, though, is able to find a cheeky little direct. Nobody can really find any major advantage, and that only is going to benefit Ecol in this remaining overtime with that wipeout.
Yeah, I highly doubt they'll be able to... Okay, well, if they're gonna wipe out, then maybe they could make a comeback. But yeah, that was that push at the end felt like the only time the Oingo Boingo brothers tried to go in for like a team push, and I don't think it worked out for them because they were all clumped together by the ramp, and they got picked off really easily because of that.
Yeah, I mean, once you kind of condense into that one spot on ramp, it doesn't matter if there's no S-Blast on the other team. I mean, you have to walk into a Zap, Hydra, Stamper, and Tetra. Those weapons are daring you to do that. They want you to fight them on their terms, and they will like take advantage of it every single time. And so Equal really, really solid, just kind of a bend don't break sort of mentality with that neutral. And that was a really fantastic win for them. Now we're going over to a very different map, where Hydra probably won't be picked again, if I'm being honest, on Mahi Mahi Resort.
We'll not know until we see.
That's true.
Let me introduce myself, because we didn't exactly have the time for that. I'm Van Luke and Meowing.
Good morning.
Okay, anyways.
As well. To you as well. I'm Sig, you heard me on the TriCast a little bit earlier, but we're taking over for lower bracket finals and grand finals. But we're going over to Mahi Mahi for game 2. Now, we saw Eichel play this earlier. They were able to get the dub against Fletcher with a pretty interesting comp. You saw a Tetra playing with an E-leader, which is a combination you don't usually see because of how differently those weapons play, but on such a small map, I feel like it can definitely work out, and it has so far.
We are seeing the Hydra gun.
Oh, okay. Throw everything I said about leader out the window.
Those are the same comps, right?
I believe so, yeah. Everything looks about that. Never mind. There's a roller. Pretty drastic change from the S-Blast. I kind of like the idea, though. You have a ton of paint, and you can really take advantage of just everybody kind of having to respect all the chip damage that you have with the blaster, with the crab tank and everything. But so far, none of that matters at all, as Oingo Boingo brothers immediately get staggered by Equal. That's going to give them the lead, already knocking on the plat. It's just the Sniper Rider left standing, and this Booyah Bomb is going to force them to have to walk forwards into 2. And Equal picking up right where they left off. Incredibly dominant teamfight win early here.
Equal is all the way up zoning that best spawn, but Oingo Boingo brothers do have their specials ready and are ready to make a push back in, especially after the Tetras go down and the Hydra. They must be able to take zone here, otherwise they might be forced into lockout again. And they do.
Really big fight win for Oingo Boingo brothers. You know, if you let them get too many points afterwards too early, that can be really dicey, especially with the Reef Slider. I mean, you're already in a bit of a rough spot as is, and with Devin getting 2 and the Booyah Bomb being popped, you might have to just back up entirely off this splat zone, and that's going to have to be the case with the pencil going down. Aaron's diving onto that Rapid Pro with the help of Silver and the Tetra Dualies. That's going to give a full retake over to Eichel, and they have a ton of space, but the curling bomb's able to clean something up onto Aaron at least.
Curling Bomb really, really did not want them to play the game.
No.
Yeah, it seems like the state's kind of neutral at the moment. Oingo Boingo brothers do have zone, but Equal is still like pretty far in. Tetra not quite able to get that slider out. But yeah, Eichel feels like they are in a pretty solid position to be able to take back zone from here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got a ton of... well, not anymore, never mind. They got a ton of space to work with before getting picked off and pinched by the 4 members of the Oingo Boingo brothers. But there's the Reef Slider into the zone, just forcing people to look over. The Tetra takes cover, but not in time as the S-Blast, or as the Rapid Blaster is able to find that direct. clean things up a little bit. Now the big bubbler is set up for Equal, but they still don't have control of the zone. They just lost the lead to the rollers inside of the bubble, forced Devin all the way back. The crab tank drops, just kind of force out this Tetra, and I mean, it's just a scramble situation left, right, and center, and it'll favor the roller every single time. Oingo Boingo Brothers have come back from a massive deficit here, and they have gone all the way to the bank for the KO.
Yeah, when they got pushed all the way back into their spawn at the beginning, I really did think Equal would have been able to just KO the game from there, but they turned that around pretty quickly.
That was very, very well done. Really tenacious sort of play, especially like just managing to mitigate the reach sliders onto the zone. That is a very important thing to have to shut down into this comp, since that is one of their main ways of getting back in. They have that and the Booyah Bomb and whatever, cooler fights that they can end up winning. So Oingo Boingo just did a fantastic job at that. And Eco, I mean, they couldn't get that airtight neutral up again after like they had to walk backwards after being too far in the spawn. I mean, they couldn't really get set up there either.
I do feel like the Hydra pick is like could work on Rainmaker Scorch, just because of like how the map is laid out. It has a really, really good position if they wanna like look at mid, like the snipe position. Gives them a really good angle and cover as well.
Yeah, I mean, a big bubbler there is nearly impossible to kind of take care of. And you have plenty of space to move if you are a Hydra going into just on the defense. The main question is what kind of offensive pressure will you provide? Now, thankfully, on this mode, that can be mitigated also by picking up the Rainmaker. So I think we'll probably see Devin pick up the Rain quite often for this team, just to make sure everybody else can provide some forward pressure. But for Oingo Boingo Brothers, this is one of those map modes where sort of the longer range that we've been seeing from them with the Rapid Pro and the Snipe Rider, I'm not really sure how it's going to fare here. Maybe they switch something up. What are your thoughts on that?
I guess a little bit off the topic. I do feel like I haven't seen Rapid Pro at this level of play for a while as well. They do pick up the Charger instead of the Hydra, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we saw that a little bit earlier.
I feel like the Charger does like nerf the popping power in comparison to the Hydra. One goes down already from Oingo Boingo Brothers. Eichel is able to pick off another and able to go for a push pretty much immediately. Oh, not if they all go
immediately. Down. Yeah, immediately they all get just almost completely wiped out. It's just the Tetra dualies that's left standing, and they're on the opposite side of the map, having to fight a roller and a Snipe Rider. I do not envy that position whatsoever, and the Oingo Boingo Brothers are able to just take back mid a little bit. The early pop going in favor of Equal definitely helped them out just a tad here, but the question is, how well will this team do on defense? We saw a relatively similar comp that they played in the last series, but I mean, the defense was pick the Rainmaker because it was left alone. So now, with a team that probably won't leave it alone nearly as much, you have to rely on that Tetra Dualies to find two, and they'll do exactly that to stall out the rest of the team. Boingo is in a pretty tough spot, just having to box out a Stamper at max range. That is not fun at all, and the Oingo Boingo Brothers, they don't have any specials really to work with here.
Yeah, it seems like things are both like a little neutral at the moment. They are able to pop a crab, but it's not able to cover much space, and it's not really allowing them to push in very much. Zap is in the pit trying to farm for cooler, it seems. They jump out because it seemed like they were getting quite a bit of attention from standing there. Oingo Boingo Brothers are slowly able to make their way back up. Brief Slider not quite able to get a pick, but it did draw attention. Unfortunately for them, still not able to get a pick, and they might be forced to back out just because their team isn't alive.
There's the jump out right there, and they're gonna just have to back up, kind of reset for this defense, try and maintain that 70 lead. But so far, I mean, they get picked off by the crab tank. Boingo's immediately running down that charger, trying to make their life as difficult as possible, make sure they can't get a clean shot. But it's not gonna matter as two players end up going down on the side of the Oingo Boingo brothers. The Rapid Pro is able to find one, looking for a little bit more. Not quite going to find it before Silver and the Tetra are just immediately diving, jumping on their heads yet again. And Equal have to back off another time here, and Aaron gets picked off. This it has been an incredibly scrappy game for kind of what feel like a little bit more unwieldy comps with those longer range weapons.
I believe since the start of the game till now, we haven't actually had a push after the 70 points from Equal. So I do want to be, I really want to see what Oingo Boingo Brothers can do here. Not quite able to get the check, stopped by the Stamper just in time, but Equal are 2 down, and I don't think they will be able to defend this.
No, they won't be able to. There's the check broken. Devin's caught behind enemy lines here on a charger. That's not where you want to be. Immediately getting picked off. The lead goes in favor of the Oingo Boingo brothers. They rush for about 30 more points. And now they have a really solid foothold here going. Not able to get that pick on the resetting Devin. But, I mean, they still have just so much space to work with now that they've cleared this first snipe and first checkpoint. It's going to make things so much more difficult for Equal to get back in. But as I say that, Devin's right there with the charger pick to clean things up. Aaron's rushing in. They get the pop. And now, all of a sudden, with a Booyah Bomb and an Ink Vac, this is looking incredibly easy to take the lead here for them.
Well, they still haven't broken check, so that could get in the way. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the remake will survive very long if their team is down. Definitely gives Oingo Boingo Brothers an advantage and a lot of space to farm for special, making the next push from Equal even harder to execute.
And I mean, they do have 2 picks to go along with it. Can the Rapid Pro find the direct on the air? And there it is. Silver, in the meantime, is going to be able to find that pick onto the Rainmaker. They did try and put it in the pit to stall, but with 15 seconds left, Equal still have a shot here, but they're going to have to take their time. They're going to have to do everything to make sure this roller doesn't get back in, make sure that Devin doesn't immediately drop, and there's no vac for this push. If the Oingo Boingo brothers can just get this pop, they win the game. They put themselves on series points, and with 3 players going down in a staggered wipe, the Oingo Boingo brothers have put themselves in a very comfortable lead here.
Yeah, and it seems like Equal just panicked. They were like running for the remake one by one and continuously dying to that roller at the end.
I mean, that's one of the strengths of roller. You can kind of pick a spot and then just shark out. Really, really good at zoning, especially inside of that big bubbler. It's definitely, I mean, that felt like a very big problem for Equal here, especially on that first push, and managed to somehow get 3 picks while the rest of the team was able to take care of that Tetra. And, I mean, probably the unsung hero of the Oingo Boingo Brothers Rainmaker game there.
This is a best of 5, right?
Yeah, it's a best of 5.
Okay. So if Oingo Boingo Brothers is able to take the next set, they'll be moving on to Grand Finals, I believe.
They'll be playing on Tower Control. I just have to remember the map. I believe it is Hagglefish Market, if memory serves. There it is. And that is going to be another pretty tough game, but I really, really like the Rapid Pro pencil combo on here, just because of how long range and honestly kind of awkward this map can feel at times.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do feel like Pencil and Rapid can combo into each other really well.
They have some very good like just pairing damage numbers. I believe it's 35 on the indirect and then 68 for the pencil, which is 103, I think, quick math. Right there. And there's Devin switching to the tried and true E leader. I guess it's time to lock in now for Devin, not even putting the scope on, just opting for a little bit more mobility there. And we're seeing that roller yet again from Buff S Class. I still don't know who that is. I don't know who plays roller.
I've seen them at Vibes, but that's about it. I know for a fact Eliter is very, very annoying on this map. So I do want to see how Equal is going to be able... I mean, Oingo Boingo Brothers will manage to play against that. Yeah, Lisa getting that roller pretty much immediately after they tried to push up.
Yeah, they tried getting a little bit cheeky there, and so far this leader has been kind of the dominant force in the game, just preventing the Oingo Boingo Brothers from moving past 99 points remaining here. We see Ganza Prime with the Reef Slider just ready to go whenever needed, just trying to dare one of the players of Equal to kind of drop and fight. And as I say that, the Rapid Pro is already taking charge, moving forwards, tries to back up to deal with Silver, but with two players down, two teammates, they're going to have to give up the entire map and tries to go for the direct, but immediately gets Reef Slidered. And that's going to flip things in favor of Equal here.
Yeah, I've noticed that Tetra has been holding on for the slider for quite a while though, and I do feel like they picked a really good opportunity to be using it. Trying to go for the pick for the Rapid Dodge, Equal able to get a wipeout.
Ooh.
Yeah, this could be a KO if they're able to continue to keep that team staggering.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. That wipeout with a couple of specials, the Wave Breaker, the Booyah Bomb, and the Reef Slider, just at their disposal, going to pop two of them, not get the opportunity to use the third, and Devin's able to find that last cleanup pick. Silver's not able to get onto the tower on time, and Eagle have taken us to a Game 5. We're going back to Clan Blitz.
Yeah, that wipeout at the end seems to have really caused a bit of panic, because it looked like they really struggled to get back in. It's also that Equal had specials ready at the end, so it would have like that on top of the panic and nerves would probably have also made it a lot harder.
That would be that would have been a very difficult situation to kind of fight out of. This was a rough pick for Oingo Boingo Brothers. I mean, if the Rapid Pro doesn't end up going down there, maybe even finding a pick or a trade or something, I mean, this game looks entirely different. I don't think the Tetra can take all of that space. That was very, very good heads-up play from Kanza Prime. Just able to move all the way down to the bottom left and force the roller kind of completely out of the fight. And I mean, yeah, excellently done. Now we're going on to Clan Blitz on Umami Ruins. Another pretty interesting map. We've seen a variety of anchor weapons work here in the past, but what do you think we're going to be seeing from both teams here?
I feel like the bubble from the Hydra could be pretty useful, like especially when scoring, but at the same time I do feel like anything could work. Yeah, we're seeing the Lita from Equal, I believe, and Pencil from Oingo Boingo Brothers.
There we go. We have pretty much the same comps, exactly the same comps, actually. So already going into this, the roller trying to find a shark early, but not quite going to find anything. Equal playing very carefully, cautiously before Aaron rushes in with the cooler to try and get a little bit of info. Finds the roller, but ends up going down immediately. Silver on top mid, looking to find this fight onto Boingo. Finds one, looking for that second with the jump in, but the roller immediately with the vertical flick is able to shut things down. Hunting for just a little bit more fighting. 3 has to jump out as well. And I mean, so far, again, it's been the story of this series so far. It's just been scrappy and fighting constantly for both these teams.
It's it's taken a bit, but Equal seems like they've gathered themselves again and are playing a bit more carefully. And as I say that, I see them pushing up really far into the Oingo Boingo brothers, able to get a few picks, but not quite enough to be to allow them to do anything.
I mean, Devin with this leader has been a force to be reckoned with here, and already looking for another pick, able to find it onto the retreating splash user of Boingo. That's going to give so much space. Even in a 2 versus 3, Equal have a lot of room to work with thanks to that pick, thanks to this leader. But immediately as the Tetra goes down, Devin's going to have to back up in fear of this roller doing the exact same thing that Tetra likes to do. And now, I mean, Oingo Boingo brothers have a ton of control. They have a big bubbler. They had a big bubbler. And they have a tactical ready for this fight here. So, I mean, things could go pretty well, all things considered for them. The bubbler, though, is popped early, and Silver's able to kind of get a little bit of shredding going on that thing, while Boingo gets picked off as well. Aaron's looking for another fight, runs in, is met immediately with a roller to the face. And, I mean, we're just still stuck here in mid.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through the game, and nothing's really happened aside from fighting in mid. It seems like Oingo Boingo brothers are playing a bit more aggressively here. Equal is one down, but they won't be able to really push in unless they get a few more. They do get the zap down as well, but that doesn't really help, especially since Oingo Boingo brothers are like one down. The bubble comes out, and they are able to get a score in at last.
Yeah, there's immediately breaking that stalemate. Boingo looking for just a touch more to score, but not going to find it. Forced out really quickly by Equal. We are still at a 1-score game here with 2 minutes remaining. And, I mean, Equal, they have a lot of space taken already. With the Booyah Bomb and the Wave Breaker, this could snowball into a push pretty quickly, especially with Aaron just walking forwards, clearing out all of Mound for Devin to just get another couple of clams. There's the lead flip. There's a wipeout, too. And Equal, I mean, they came to play, and they are down to 40 points remaining here, Fantomo.
Yeah, that must have been devastating for the Oingo Boingo brothers. And considering... Oh
dear.
The situation must be dire. Okay. But yeah, they are able to get Eichel out of their base.
Now, eventually, the Oingo Boingo brothers will be able to get a couple of picks. The Crab Tank is popped just for a little bit more space. There's a wipeout of their own. 2 power clams to respond, jumping back, looking for that third one. This could be just a complete reversal back to a KO. Not 100-0, but a 90-0 if we could see it. The big bubbler popped. Boingo has 6 more for the win. Can they score everything? There's the KO. And the Oingo Boingo brothers take a tight game 5 to push themselves over the hump 2 grands.
Okay, I was not expecting that comeback, but they seem to have managed their clam economy really, really well at the end.
That was very well managed, to say the least. I mean, you have 2 power clams immediately dunked in. You have 2 players. You have 1 player jumping back to get the pity clam just to score immediately, because you need that scoring threat fast. 1 player just cycling out clam pods on the map, trying to keep that basket open for as long as possible. And the other 2 players are thankfully your Roller and Blaster, who can hold and deny a ton of space, especially with that big bubbler. Very, very well done from the Oingo Boingo brothers.
I really, really like how they made use of the coolest super jump bonus at the end there as well. I feel like that's pretty often overlooked.
Yeah, it's so potent that oftentimes, you'll forget you don't have it, or forget, and you can just rotate around the map to wherever your teammates are very, very quickly. I mean, that's why they were able to get that pity clam in so fast on the turnaround. And I mean, that just paved the way for them to go and stomp this.
Yeah, to be fair, once the Tetra was from Equal was already like in that spawn, like on their own. I did doubt they would be able to get like enough clams to finish off the game because it was a 1v4. Unless they
Yeah,
somehow
I
jumped
mean,
in.
it is pretty tough to kind of get those clams to clean up, especially when you're a Tetra that has to fight like 2 or 3 people immediately on jump in. But I mean, that was a fantastic push from Equal them. Unfortunately, that is going to put them out of the tourney at 3rd place. And we have moved on to grand finals after this just really, really quick break.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll be back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the grand finals of Paddling Pool 344. I'm Sig Dakari. Joining me on the mic is Fantomu. We've got the Oingo Boingo brothers getting a run back against Duck Raft from our winner's side. Fantomu, we are starting things off on Undertow Spillway on tower control. How are you feeling about this set?
I haven't seen anything of Duckcraft from today. I did join a little late. I was a little high on cookies. But yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how things go. Both teams seem to have pretty whimsical names, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. They're very, very silly. I appreciate the silliness from our pickups, and we have some very household names when it comes to just EU Splatoon. We got Punchy, Mert, Slasher, and Acing on Duckraft, and then we got not really sure who who's on the Oingo Boingo Brothers. I think that's Fatal and Jasmine as the Pencil and the Rapid Pro, but I don't know. Everybody's using aliases, so like, who knows? Acing's able to find an early pick, but immediately gets shut down by the roller. And Oingo Boingo Brothers already have a pretty small early lead, but they're looking to capitalize just a little bit more. This roller just jumping in and out and in and out, just causing so many problems for Duckraft. Able to find another pick onto Acing here. Slasher's trying to just stall the tower while the rest of the team is able to recuperate, but that's so far unsuccessful, almost getting picked off. And with that Zipcaster and the Crab Tank, they're looking to just kind of stall it for as long as possible, just to prevent this push from getting too out of hand.
Yeah, that bubble placed right in front of the Crab Tank was great counterplay. It seems like S Plus is finding themselves in a pretty, like, irrelevant position, trying to make their way back, but isn't quite able to do much aside from draw attention from where they're at right now. It's definitely going well for them. Oingo Boingo Brothers able to get the tower and really, really far ahead. Punchy trying to get back tower is able to. Yeah, Oingo Boingo Brothers are staggering quite a bit, and it seems like this would be the end of that push.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to do it for them for now. Punchy's got a Crab Tank just right in front of this first checkpoint, trying to just stall as much as possible, take away as much space from the Oingo Boingo Brothers. Duckraft are able to get to that first checkpoint, but not quite clear it just yet. The Oingo Boingo Brothers are able to clear and contest for quite a while. Acing, though, on a bit of a shark, able to find that direct on a Fatal. There it is, 2 players down on both sides, but the Splash and the Roller are able to clean things up. They're looking for another score, for another, bit of scoring, maybe clearing that third check and getting all the way to a KO. But Duckraft, I mean, they've been tenacious so far. Will they be able to hold off again?
Yeah, they have the crab up ready for defense and ahead it, set up on that flat. Boingo Boingo Brothers are pushed pretty far back. S Plus is in a position where they can't really do much. Unless they're able to get that flank on the Zip, which they are able to, and able to get that pick on the Splash, Duckraft is once again in what I call a pickle. And
yeah, a little bit of a tough spot here.
Yeah, it seems like we're back to neutral. Oingo Boingo Brothers go 2 down, and Duckraft will be starting that push from here.
They have found their way out of the pickle as Slasher's able to find one on the left-hand side. Acing's walked all the way forwards onto that final checkpoint. As Duckraft has taken all the space they need to clear that first checkpoint, looking for that second one as Slasher's just stalling with the Zip and the Spawn, not able to find any picks. But do you need to when you have just Acing sharking this ledge on the Luna Blaster? Not really. You have the Hammer as well, looking for just a little bit more. They're trying to rush the tower on the side of the Oingo Boingo Brothers, but nothing is quite working so far. Everything is just falling apart. It feels like a little bit too volatile of a hold here for the Oingo Boingo Brothers. And Duckraft are able to get all the way down to 33 points. Not quite enough for a lead, but you've cleared 2 checkpoints on the way. That is a very, very promising start. You need to get something going in this last minute and a half, though.
I find the difference between the strategy of the 2 teams kind of interesting, because from what it seemed like, Oingo Boingo Brothers tried to push tower until all of their members were down, but it seems like Duckraft is trying to do it a little more patiently. They backed up once they saw that they were in a disadvantage, and they're able to regroup while still holding quite a bit of control of the Boingo Brothers. Which does allow them to take lead here, and they could KO, but we're very close to. But it doesn't seem like it can happen.
Absolutely massive. It's just staying alive and subsequent double, triple from Punchy. Just single-handedly holding Duckraft in front of mid here, able to give them a ton of space, stall for so much time. Now the Oingo Boingo brothers only have about 15 seconds left to take this tower and the rest of overtime to score, and it looks like they're not even going to be able to do that as Punchy's still riding the tower down to 2 points with the hammer from acing to clear it out. Now it's a 3v1, and the heavy edit is going to have to back off of Mert. And I mean, now you can fully reset here. You're not super close to any specials other than a tactical. If you're Duckraft, you have a few up on your side. If you're the Oingo Boingo brothers, the question is, where are you going to use them? This roller is going to be key. Finds one, but not enough. It's just the splash left, and they get picked off. It's a delayed wipeout, and Duckraft clutch up for game 1.
That was a pretty tense defense from both sides, like near the end of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but neither side had like a GG special, right? For TC, like the Yo strikes.
No, they didn't. They the only way that they were going to be able to fully clear that tower easily is just walking forwards with a roller or blaster and just hoping that did the work.
Yeah, it's really strong on this game mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean those blasters are really good at just clearing anything. It's not easy to find a safe bit of space there, and I mean especially with the Ultra Stamp, we saw it get Duckraft scored down to like 2 points here. Acing didn't really find that many frags during the push, but able to hold just a ton of space, like we saw in that last replay. Just sharking under the ledge, making sure it wasn't safe for anybody on the Oingo Boingo brothers to drop. Now we're going to a much harsher map mode of Rainmaker on Museum d'Alfonsino. This is where the longer range is going to really come into effect with the Rapid Pro and the pencil. You have to imagine that the Oingo Boingo brothers, they may be down 1, but they're feeling okay about going into this next game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't really think of much to comment on for this map mode, like for these teams. It does feel like it's like a pretty even matchup from what we've seen last game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to go down to the wire. Whenever I think about this map, though, I always think that like the Crab Tank and the whoever has like a longer range anchor weapon is going to like have an inherent advantage here. The Oingo Boingo brothers have a lot of that with a crab and 2 anchor style weapons. Granted, I don't think the Rapid Pro quite plays like an anchor on this map, but it's got so much range to work with, as well as that Snipe Rider. Duckraft are using a vanilla 96 to kind of mitigate that with the Ink Vac. Very curious to see how that unfolds here.
I can imagine that Ink Vac being really useful if the Rainmaker wants to like make that jump from spin up, which, well, they do really quickly. That's interesting.
Yeah, but not quite able to get that checkpoint. What will help a lot with that is the Ink Vac just immediately finding the pick onto the Crab Tank. Slasher just running forwards into the spawn, clearing out a ton of space. That gives Duckraft the first check. Acing with the Fizzies gets another pop. The Ink Vac isn't going to find anything thanks to that Killer Whale, but it's still Acing left, is going to reset that shield on the Rainmaker before eventually getting wiped out, but that's going to stall the Oingo Boingo brothers quite a bit and give Duckraft ample time to kind of set up a defense on this plat.
Yeah, Duckraft started this match really quickly and aggressively. Someone was able to sneak into that plat and continue that push further. It doesn't seem like they found Acing yet. Oh.
No, and Acing's going to do just the same thing again, shut down that Rainmaker, make that defense as difficult as possible, and find the 180 direct. Are you kidding me, Acing? That's an absolutely ridiculous shot to make. Much less on a Luna Blaster, where you have like no kind of wiggle room to work with. And now, I mean, the Oingo Boingo brothers are stuck between a rock and a hard place right here. I mean, they have to pop the big bubbler so far back just to secure mid. This is such a tough push here.
Yeah, from the last set we saw them play, the other team was also playing a little passively, and like now Oingo Boingo Brothers have to deal with a bit more of an aggressive team, and it does feel like they're struggling a little in regards to that.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit more difficult to respond when instead of having to face a Tetra, you suddenly have to switch over to dealing with. I mean, a Tetra leader, you suddenly switch over to dealing with a Heavy Edit plus a Luna Blaster. That is a drastically different and much more fight-heavy matchup. Even though the Tetra's on the other side, you still have that leader to kind of counterbalance it, or the Hydra. And I mean, now they're just getting the checkpoint halfway through the game. It's barely at that. Incredibly tough game state for the Oingo Boingo brothers to find themselves in, especially since they have like almost no map control in mid anymore now that Mertz moved up here with the heavy edit.
Yeah. It seems like the rank's gonna reset and we're probably gonna go back to a neutral game state again. Oingo Boingo Brothers does have like a majority of the map under their control though. That habit absolutely destroying the Rainmaker, kind of like overkill, and it's just the roller not able to do anything in that pit.
Yeah, I mean, the Stamper immediately just drops on you and gets a melee off. It's tough to respond as a roller. And I mean, Punchy's just gonna opt to kind of sit this Rainmaker down in a pretty safe spot. You know, we've seen this a few times, whether you're just a YouTube viewer or you've watched a lot of Rainmaker before. This is kind of the stall spot now on Museum d'Alfonsino for Rainmaker, and I mean Punchy dancing around, just burning that clock as much as they can between the Crab Tank and the Killer Whale, able to weather that storm. And now Duckcraft have a very comfortable hold here going forwards, especially with Acing just running in and wreaking havoc on that Luna Blaster. Same thing with Slasher.
That's gonna be such an awkward position to pick up the rain from. How do you even get up there? Oh wait, from mid, yeah.
You can get there from mid, or there's the little surge that is directly behind the wall on the roller.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but it's just such a difficult spot because you have 4 or 5 angles that Duckcraft can kind of look at here. Now, granted, they're able to clear it up, get it to mid at least, but Acing dives, finds 2 more picks. The roller is able to find just a little bit more space, able to find Slasher too. This all of a sudden could be very possible. You just have to be able to deal with the Fizzy Spam, the Ink Vac as well to kind of shut down this push, make sure you can't get much paint where you need to. Acing's already back in close to that hammer as well. Just so much chip to worry about, and Slasher and Punchy both diving on that Rainmaker is going to shut it down. It's just Acing left, but you can never count out a Luna Blaster with a hammer, and that's going to find one. Looking for that second with the rush and the throw, not quite. The splash ends up dropping, but the Rainmaker just has to back all the way off, and with 2 players immediately running them down, it's not very long for this world as Punchy wide swings to clean things up. Duckcraft are on tournament point.
It did look really promising for the Oingo Boingo brothers on their plat near the end, especially since they were all 4 up and there are a few going down on the side of but I forgot the team. Duckcraft, yeah. Yeah, so they I did think they could turn it around there, but it's Rainmaker on overtime or Rainmaker near overtime, and it's gonna be really stressful during then.
I mean, you have to play an enhanced version of Protect the President on like steroids after that as well. Like, it is such a difficult game state to be in, especially when you're having to deal with a Stamper that is constantly running at you, a Luna Blaster just chucking fizzies, charging that Ultra Stamp just passively and everything, as well as a Heavy Edit that will just mow you down if you just look at it funny, and an Ink Vac to stall you out. I mean, that is just such a difficult kind of spot to be put in. The Oingo Boingo brothers really need to find something here, and on one of their more comfortable maps from the previous set, of Scorch Gorge Clan Blitz, this could be the map.
But yeah, we'll be going into the game now.
Just a
Taking a
question
bit to load.
Yeah.
There we go. Seems like the same comp from both sides.
Punchy has switched back to that Splash-O-Matic from game 1. Inkvac is stellar on Rainmaker, not quite as good on Clan Blitz, but I mean, a very familiar comp that we've seen them run before. Acing already looking for that early pick onto the roller, forcing them to jump out. Punchy with an early crab on bot left is clearing one side, while the rest of the team clears another, but Mert ends up going down to this crab tank from Boingo, I think. And that's going to give the Oingo Boingo brothers a really good start, actually, with how many clams they have. They just need this roller to kind of pick up 2 more to make a power clam. There it is. There's the scoring. And we are off to the races. Boingo got deleted. Same thing with the rest of the team. They're going to be stopped at 56 points left. Now, that is a pretty solid opening for the first minute of the game, but you have given Duckraft all of the real estate in the world to work with here. And, I mean, this scoring could just immediately even up really quick.
Yeah, like we saw in the Umami match from earlier. The same could happen here. Boingo Boingo Brothers got a really, really quick push at the beginning of the match, and Duckraft is doing pretty much the same in response to that. Not quite able to get lead here, though.
No, but it is a very, you have closed that gap very comfortably, so you don't really need to worry as much. Just a single power clam and 2 regular clams will be able to secure that lead. And, I mean, now they're just looking for a way to get back in, but Boingo with his crab tank shuts things down. Punchy's in a really, really dangerous spot as the roller's able to get behind, finds 2, pops the big bubbler. There it is, looking for that third on the Punchy, and it's a delayed wipeout for the Oingo Boingo brothers. They are not playing around. They saw, they realized, oh wait, we're still in Grands. We still need to win some games to win the tourney. And, I mean, now they're really woken up.
This really feels like a game mode they've practiced more than the others, and it shows.
It definitely also is a lot easier to make a roller work, it feels, on a mode like Splat Zones or Clam Blitz, just because you can hold that space. You don't need to actively be constantly pushing forwards, but there's the lead immediately flipped for Duckraft yet again, able to find that delayed wipeout, run straight to the basket, get some scores, and there's the Pity Clan 2 down to 12 points. But we've seen this song and dance before. There's a wipeout immediately. The Oingo Boingo brothers are right back to the basket. The roller, though, gets picked off by the crab tank. This could be that could be the game-winning push there. If Slasher's able to find one onto Boingo, there it is, onto Oingo too, and it's just the Rapid Pro and the roller who jumped in. They have to back up. And, I mean, Duckraft, really stellar job again at just kind of punishing these oversteps from the Oingo Boingo brothers.
Yeah, I feel like it was pretty much over for the push Oingo Boingo brothers had in mind once the roller had been taken out from their spawn, from like near the basket, because I feel like that bubble would have been really, really useful. But now it seems like we're back to a neutral state. Boingo has a crab ready, not quite able to pop it as they're down to the Luna. It doesn't really put them into much of a disadvantaged state though. Not if another member goes down.
Yeah, and Acing able to find that pick, just keep things even for the time being. Duckraft are perfectly comfortable with just holding space for as long as they need, just waiting for Oingo Boingo to make the first move. They have to in a game like this. It's close. They're going to need to start scoring because they're behind. Punchy with this crab tank. Now is the time for them to get a little bit more active. Boingo ends up dropping. Oingo is pressured by the Zipcaster. Slasher's just making so much space for the rest of the team to move up on the right-hand side. And with 2 power clams dunked in that basket, Duckraft are going to take the set, and they are your Paddling Pool 344 champions.
I think Boingo fell off the map twice in that game. It happens.
That is pretty tough. That is a pretty tough way to get picked off in the crab tank. But Duckraft with honestly incredibly dominant games 2 and 3. Those were very well done. It looked a little bit tight in game 1. It looked like Oingo Boingo, was a pretty different team than what faced them in the winners finals. But Duckraft able to just regather their bearings about halfway through that game and just carry it all the way through for a clean sweep in Grants. Very, very well executed from them. And props to all the players, especially I want to highlight Acing on that Luna. Really just put in work.
Yeah, Acing is a pretty good player in terms of for like their weapon. And it's also not a weapon you see very much of in this level, I think.
Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best Luna Neos, at least in Europe, if not the West and possibly world. Very, very strong. And another player that I want to highlight, just clutching up in games 1 and in game 3 as well with the crab tanks, is Punchy. I mean, I can't count how many times those crabs just either saved the game or like just completely opened up a new angle for Duckraft to kind of take control of. Very, very well done. And yeah, I mean, dominant run from Duckraft's, in all honesty. Very, very strong work.
Yeah. There were a few moments where the Oingo Boingo brothers, where it felt like they could have taken the game, but Duckraft did always come in clutch to win it for themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, they clutched up. They were able to kind of keep the train going as well throughout the entire set. And I mean, they were able to close out at the very end. That's kind of the thing. But with that being said, that is going to do it from us here at Dapple. So before we head out, where can the lovely people find you, Fantomo?
Fantomu _ on like everything. Fantomu without the underscore on my blue sky. You can see that underneath. How about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me just about anywhere where the Splatoon community hangs out at Sigdakari, like you see at the bottom of your screen, whether that's Discord, Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, any of that stuff. It's at Sigdakari. Huge shout out to production, to the TOs, as well as Ray and T for doing that TriCast for Loser Semis. That was a blast. It's been a pleasure working with you, Fantomu, and we will see you all next time.
It was great commentating with you too. Yeah, goodbye. Have a nice rest of your day, night, sometime.